10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Magic After Dark. My name's Ryan Edwards. This is my co-host,
Blaze Sarah. Welcome everybody to the show. We're so excited to have you here.
This is going to be a fun night. I am glad this is week number 2 that I have not fallen off the chair, but
that's a real accomplishment. Yeah, we need to have a whiteboard just behind you, just weeks since falling out of chair.
Yeah, like safety weeks. We officially made it through this episode with no injuries today.
It would I feel like it would jinx us though, because you would on your way to get to the whiteboard to check another tally mark, you'd fall out and then you would have to restart.
I fall over a light or a cable or something for sure. No doubt about it.
Mateo just said congrats for another successful week.
Thanks
for Mateo. Now, I just met Mateo virtually this past weekend at a very fun virtual event, which I'm really excited to talk with our guest about.
Yeah, definitely.
So we have, our guest is man of the hour. People are very excited for him. Are we ready?
Should we announce and bring him in?
Yes, I think Martin's already spoiled it. Mayhew, the one and only.
Oh shit! I was already. Hello.
We teased you a little bit. We were like, "Oh, we're gonna bring him in." Yeah, let's bring it.
He's like,
it happens instant. Anyways, I thought I would nail that one. I guess not.
Here, Chris, we'll send you back out. We'll try to get.
Yeah, we can rewind it. You want to try?
All good.
Can you do the hand thing if we bring it back?
Oh yeah. Does my hand look big to you?
If you have that, I would love to see.
I don't have the triple joke. I only have the double. But thanks for having me on this, guys. This is lovely to be on here. I watch you kind of do it with everybody else every week, so it's cool to have the opportunity to talk to y'all.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
And cheers! I'm drinking some wine right now, so I don't know if you got drinks.
My 100% definitely alcoholic beverage.
We already know that every episode is brought to you by Coke Zero.
Slightly blurred.
The one and only Coke Zero.
Right thing.
Yeah. But yeah, this is awesome. Magic After Dark, baby.
Yeah, you're a legend. Hungry and hungover. What a name. Nice. Yeah.
Should I be looking at the screen or the camera? I don't know which one.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll kind of look at both. They're kind of near each other, so I can kind of gaze.
Just stare blankly in between. Yeah. Don't look at us or yourself.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Nothing helped. Yeah, just blankly at the wall.
I'll look at the mic. I'll mistake this for the camera. Yes. Yes. Just do the whole interview.
Oh my gosh. The camera keeps switching angles, but you keep looking at the wrong one.
That's the best.
That'll be hilarious. That's a good. That'll be a good video.
Can't
get this right.
So I wish I could do that. OBS, the ability with OBS is like put memes up and all these cool little GIFs and stuff or GIFs. I want to learn all that. I'm so noob when it comes to any kind of technology. Like this whole setup, I figured out for unconventional just like a few days ago.
Well, you're one of the few people to match our pink aesthetic, so we appreciate that effort.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
So speaking of unconventional, that was something that I attended this past weekend, and I was like, wow, this was so much better than I expected, especially as a virtual convention. And then finding out that you were so involved, I would love to hear about what the process was like behind the scenes. Setting up something like that was really ambitious,
Lost Art is good friends with Toronto Magic Company. Like Ben and Jonah literally live down the street from me, so I can walk over to their house. But the unconventional is their baby, and they put all the work and effort into that thing, and they kind of came up with the idea from a friend of ours, Felice, who had found that platform, Gather Town, and then she kind of mentioned it to them as like, hey, this is kind of a cool thing. And then instantly Ben and Jonah's brains start kind of churning, and they're like, we could put on a convention with this. And then they made it happen. And that was the third one that just happened this weekend. But I've been to all of them, and Lost Art has been a big supporter behind every single one of them. We do what we can. We do shout outs on the YouTube channel and our social medias, whatever we can to help them out. But it really is the Toronto Magic Company's baby. And I'm just so happy to even get to participate in this incredible thing that they've created. And it is, it's a video game and magic married together into this wonderful, wonderful kind of experience that people from all around the world get to participate in. So it's lovely. And that was the first time we got to meet and hang out was at Unconventional as well. So that was really good. Blaze, I'm talking about Ryan. I've known for a long time. So.
Long time.
But it was cool to finally meet Blaze, who's been doing Magic After Dark on Lost Art Magic for a while now, and so finally
and I saw your name in the chat and stuff, and I had seen some of the work that you had done in the Magic community years ago and stuff. So it was awesome to get to meet you, and I think that was one of the things that was so cool about the convention was that I was so surprised about how well it replicated the feeling that you have when you're actually walking around a convention. The fact that it's a proximity chat, So for anybody that doesn't know what Unconventional was, like I could give a quick rundown, and any gaps that I miss, I think Chris would probably have some details that I might miss. But the idea of you're in this video game world, which was far more extensively developed than I had imagined. There were so many different sections and hidden rooms and secrets and things, but you walk around and then there were different performance areas. There were dealers booths, just like a regular convention, but you're able to control your video game character and walk around, and whoever you're near immediately pops up a video chat, and then you can talk to them. And I was like, if I was going to a Magic convention in, like Magic Live, it would have all of these features, I would just hang out with the people that I knew or whatever, or the people that I was excited to meet, and being able to just walk up to somebody that you want to meet is like a huge element of a Magic convention, of being able to like mingle with different people that you've looked up to or whatever. And that was a huge aspect. And it was really cool seeing there was this girl Chahat and another girl Amna that were from Pakistan and India, and they were so excited that they got to meet and talk with and hang out with Ekaterina, and it was just so cool that it had that same kind of element that you have in a real life Magic convention, but done really well in a virtual format. I was surprised how well it did. Yeah.
I wasn't there, unfortunately. This weekend was insane, but
there's more though, so you'll have an opportunity to come.
I will be there at the next one for sure. But is there ever that awkward, when you're at a convention and you see someone that you're like, oh, I've always looked up to that person. Like, I don't know if I should say hello. Does that go away because you're like a video game character just walking up to another character?
I mean, there's a little bit of that confidence because, you're still at home, comfortable in your own environment. And so there's a little bit of that, internet confidence to, go up to folks, I would say.
Sure.
But luckily, everybody that's been there has always been so open to kind of connect and chat. And honestly, if they don't want to, then they just have their mic and their camera off, right? So anybody that has their mic and camera on, they're willing to connect with you. But like Blaze said, it really kind of gives you that feel that an actual Magic convention does, because you're not just sitting at home on a Zoom meeting, looking at a bunch of different screens. You're literally navigating, a digital 3D space. Or I guess it's 2D. It's like a 8-bit, the classic video games that we all love.
Yeah.
But that aspect of it really, really makes it feel like an actual Magic convention. And
Ben was just Ben was one of the creators of Unconventional, right? And he was just throwing out some love for you and for Lost Art, and some appreciation for
love you, Ben.
So
yeah, he's awesome. I just I can go over there and just hang out with them and jam, and I'm lucky that they live so close.
Yeah. Well, next time you guys do a convention, we will make sure that we shout it out on Magic After Dark.
Totally.
And do something big for it. So
definitely.
for you.
Yeah. Unconventional, baby. It's some good times, and there's going to be more to come. So, if you miss this one, there will be plenty more to participate in. And I think it's here to stay as far as, now that they've developed this platform, it's very easy for them to kind of just keep adding on to it.
I saw Ben's comment.
Smoochy
don't say you love me if you cringe every time I try to smooch you. Also, coincidentally, the first comment on our announcement here that we were going live with you is, "Oh, he's so cute. Nice baby Yoda too." So you got a lot of fans there, Chris.
I love it. I feel the love. And I love all y'all's. Cheers. Oh man.
So, Chris, I know Blaze. I'm going to throw this way back because I get so Blaze. You haven't seen Chris perform, have you?
No, I've not seen Chris perform. I've only seen him do the
my
funniest,
random joke magic.
his random joke tricks. Yeah, where he's like, "Oh, hey guys, here's a plate." Like, what? Huh?
Which I love. I love all that stuff.
I have seen that live.
You do it live?
I've developed it to be done live, not just on camera.
Oh, that's
There's
so
a way
good.
to hide the plate so you can walk up to someone and they don't see it coming.
That's
so good, man.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
I'm going to go way back because I saw Chris perform what I would say is probably not maybe one of your first stage appearances, but maybe your first stage appearance as your character.
Where I wore the glasses?
Yeah. When you were at Dave and Buster's.
Oh God, Bobby, right? For
Bobby,
opening for Bobby.
Yeah.
So oh man's. You basically saw the beginning of me trying to get comfortable.
Evolution of your act, I think, because the first time I saw it, no offense, Chris.
No, it was brutal.
It was pretty cringy.
Silence. There was only silence.
I remember most of the audience just started like turning and doing their own thing. It was super awkward because
roasted. What is this character?
So I have a very kind of strange kind of humor, and things that I find funny don't necessarily translate, or they didn't translate. I found this stuff really funny, and I'm a big fan of Andy Kaufman and his work. And so I come from the close-up magic realm, doing close-up card tricks and that type of stuff. And I never did stand-up magic. And so once I kind of got comfortable with close-up magic and performing, I realized what scares me. And it was standing up on a stage and doing magic tricks. And so I knew I could just go to a magic shop and buy magic tricks, that would work and do them. I know a bunch of people that do that, and it's cool. It's cool to see them get up there. But I wanted to do the stuff I wanted to do, which was really weird, awkward comedy and magic. But again, I found it so funny. But I thought okay, this would be really funny. I go up there for the first time, and my friend Bobby, he kind of was doing a show at David Buster's and gave me the opportunity to open for him, which is honestly one of the best ways to develop an act, is opening for someone, because you're not ruining anybody's night. If you bomb and you're super terrible, which I was, there's a good performer coming up after you to kind of get everybody going again. And so, bless Bobby's heart for giving me that opportunity to bomb night after night on stage for a good couple years, to be honest. And it was just brutal because, I found this stuff funny and it spoke to me, but I would go up there and try these jokes out and these tricks and just silence, just brutal, awkward silence. And I'm just up there wow, okay, none of this is translating. And so it's this long journey of figuring out how to make it translate, how to get the laughs and hit those cues that I wanted to hit, and make it work. And honestly, it was a good almost 3 years of just failing horribly. And there's a moment where I almost gave up, and was maybe I should just do something normal. And then it wasn't until I watched David Blaine's last special, Real or Magic, and I saw him shoving things through his arms and barfing up frogs and stuff. And I was just like, if this guy can do this, I can do my weird shit. And so I kept going, and eventually it worked. Eventually it started to work. But Ryan was there from the beginning when it wasn't working. I remember
seeing the first one, and I like Ben. Ben said that he was backstage, and he said he
was the show manager at the time. He'll never forget.
Backstage with Bobby watching that set. It was so Chris starts his show off by walking out onto the stage and just wiping out.
I trip and fall flat on my face.
Comedy, like just face plants on stage, like hard. And it was like
I think that's so great that you were focusing on the performance outside of just the tricks. That's great.
Everything but the tricks, really.
Boom, hammers himself off the stage, and everybody's like, and he stayed there for a little while the first time, and everybody's like, see, like, okay, like this is supposed to happen. Like, it was super awkward. Obviously, that got better as he went along, but the first time it was like, is he unconscious? Like, did he?
Yeah, my thinking behind it was like
unconscious.
Yeah, totally. Well, I would like lay there and sometimes even squirm. And my whole thinking behind it was like, no matter what you're doing, you might not be paying attention. You might be on your phone. But as soon as you see that performer face plant on stage, everybody's looking. Everybody's now paying attention and watching.
Oh yeah.
Now whether they like it or not is a whole different story. But their attention is on you. Right. Yeah. And so that was my whole thinking was like, okay, how do I grab everybody's attention like right away? And so it was like, come out with high energy music, high five some people, yo, hey, everybody. And then run up on stage and just trip and like face plant and just lay there.
I remember, so Chris actually helped me shoot a magic video one time where I had to fall off a bike. And I was like, I'm going to take it off this little ramp that we built. It's like on a kid bike and stuff, and to fall is ridiculously hard. To
fall and not hurt yourself.
To fall and not hurt yourself and make it look like you actually like. Every time I'd fall off the bike, Chris would be like, "Just fall, man." I'm like, "It's pavement. It's gonna hurt. Like this is not cool." And I'd put like my leg down and kind of barrel roll over, and it looked so fake and so bad. Chris was very good at just running up on stage and face planting and and it sounded like it genuinely just killed him.
It's commitment. It's commitment. Yeah, I also have martial arts training, and so that really helped, so I do have good body control, like secret. I guess it's not a secret anymore, but I am a second-degree black belt in Tang Soo Do. Oh,
really?
It's funny because I never, I was always kind of forced into martial arts as a kid. My dad got me into it originally because of attention span, I guess. But then, my mom and my stepdad ended up opening up a martial arts school. And so it was just always in my life. But I never actually, appreciated it, really. I was always doing it, but I was like, what am I going to really do with this? Like, what is this helping me with? And then once I started performing magic, I realized right away, all of this, martial arts training is coming in, full force for, stand-up performance. And I just never knew. I never knew it would come back in that unique way to help me out with my magic.
Being able to do that physical comedy and everything. I did martial arts for a few years. I'm a first-degree black belt, but I stopped when I was in middle school.
Karate champion friends.
Yeah, but I was in Kempo, which is a totally different thing. It was Goshin Kempo Jiu-Jitsu.
Cool.
And some of the jiu-jitsu stuff is actually practical, and then I realized so many of the things that I learned were not practical. It was just this would not help me in a fight because I'm not just having one guy just go in just like this.
You do
just do a form around them.
Fist is on your side, and it's I feel like my hand would be up in front of my face, not this. But it teaches you form, and technique and that type of stuff. But a lot of the stuff is self-discipline, and all that type of stuff. Not for actual fighting.
Exactly. Speaking of real life ninjas, how's it going?
Xavier!
He
made it on.
My man's a real life
ninja. What's
ninja.
funny is because you just have X in the corner, it looks like we could just click on the screen and get rid of them.
If you can, but this would happen.
See, he has the OBS power, so he can do all these memes and
He
stuff.
does
which I'm
have the
jealous of.
OBS powers.
He tried to teach me at Unconventional, and like I was so lost. I was like, I don't understand what I'm looking at or clicking. And he's like trying to share his screen and show me. I'm just like, no.
Everybody has their thing. X is the tech magician. Andre is the finance magician. You're the improv comedy magician. It's all.
Blaze harmonizes.
Totally.
Yeah, I harmonize uncontrollably. Ryan was calling it out right before the stream started. He was like, "Who's singing right now?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh wait, that was me."
I was downstairs grabbing my Coke Zero, and all I could hear in the kitchen was like, and I thought maybe it was Chris. I was like, is Chris like humming a tune? Because Chris, for anybody that doesn't know, you're musical, but you're loud as well.
Oh usually. Yeah, I'm very loud. So I have to work consciously on my voice.
I turned my volume down tonight before we came on because I had it up. Because when Chris logged on, I couldn't hear him, but it was going to my AirPods. I didn't know they were connected. So it was like cranked. And then when he came on, he's like, "Hey!" And I was like, "What?" Chris. And so I was like, "It's got to be Chris." I could hear him in the kitchen. And I come upstairs and his Blaze sitting there humming away. It's like, oh, this is great.
This is the first time we've used the 4-player layout.
Yeah, it's true.
It's cool. I like it. 4-player. How many players can you have in this?
I don't know. I think 10. 10 is the max, I think.
Really? Yeah. I know like Bo might, it's like probably super late for Bo, but like if he chimes on, we could even bring Bo up to hang out.
Bo ain't gonna jump in right now. It's like no o'clock where he lives.
Yeah, I know.
No o'clock.
Very late for him. In the UK.
Yeah, because every time he sees an invite, it's asking if he can come. The answer is no.
That's awesome.
So you got your reps in, and then you were able to get the show like where you wanted it at the end, where like people were reacting and they were laughing at the jokes and everything, and like
totally. And it wasn't like all like Bobby really gave me that opportunity, that push to even just get started. And then my friend James Allen, he started running this thing called Magic Tonight. I'm pretty sure. Did you perform on Magic Tonight, Ryan?
No, I was going to say I saw you perform with James because I remember myself, Blake, and Danny came.
Right, that was the first show where I had developed the show and I wanted to do it at the Magic Castle in the parlor room. And I applied to perform it in the parlor room, and then they booked me in the close-up room. Yeah, and it was a whole stand-up performance, not a close-up performance. I was like, well, what, do I have to like redevelop a whole entire show now? And so Ryan, Blake Voy, and Garcia came to see the show. And after I was like, yeah, it sucks because I did this, developed this whole act for the parlor room, and now I have to work the close-up room. And Blake was like, he sat there and he's like, you could do it in the close-up room. Yeah. You just have to remove the table. And so I was like one of the only performers working the close-up room at the Magic Castle where I asked them to remove the table from the close-up room. And I just did a stand-up show in the close-up room.
That's fun. It sets you apart.
Yeah. But then I saw it from there because it was good.
It was developing. It was starting to work.
Then I saw him perform at Magi Fest and do it, where he got a standing ovation from every magician watching.
Yeah, that was really validating, and I didn't even expect that. I was just so much in performance mode, just trying to, do the show. And so that was a big surprise and just a great validation that finally it's working, and my peers respect it. But it came a long way from being just silence, horrible awkwardness, to something that actually translated and worked. And, it was a journey of not giving up. I knew I wanted to perform this stuff. It's what spoke to me, and I wouldn't feel fulfilled if I was doing anything else. And so I just realized, what's the point in doing anything else other than what I want to do? And so I just kept picking at it and listening to the audience, going home, listening to what didn't get a reaction and then tweaking it and figuring out how to make it work better. I mean, the biggest journey is I do Professor Cheer's comedy rope routine, just trying to figure out what appears on the end of that rope besides, the original is like some underwear appears on the end of the rope. And I just like, there's room here for like a production of some sort. Yeah. That was a long journey, just figure out like what I wanted to be on the end of it.
It was a lot of pulling rope forever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, it's coming out of this sleeve.
I love it. I love it because it's such a setup, and you gotta perform like a whole show with like rope shoved throughout your body.
You had stuff duct taped on you and everything else. It was like,
oh yeah. Well, the duct tape literally came. The duct tape literally came from losing the ends of the rope.
Duct tape on it. It's the best cut and restore rope. You just tape it, man. You just duct tape.
Xavier was the first one to really give me the opportunity to perform like a one-person show in New York. And once
I would love to dive into this. So how you guys met and how this led to this show.
There's a website called Gluten Free Singles.
Craft singles.
I was taking a drink right at the bad time for that. I almost put it on.
You got him.
Yeah, Xavier and I go way back to like Magic. What was that Magic chat called? Magic session. The Magic
Session. Yeah.
The Magic Session years ago. That's where we first met. And then
we met before that.
X, is your
that?
Like,
we met before
really
that,
low?
but like only twice.
I'll turn him up.
Like online.
No, in person. You, Ben, and Glenn had come to New York a few times.
I thought that was after Magic Session. I thought the Magic Session didn't exist before that. Yeah, that came after the Magic. So we initially met at the Magic Session, then that disappeared. And then eventually I moved to Toronto and did like a whole road trip to New York with my Magic friends. And then that was the first time we met in person. Yeah, I remember like you doing shit with ketchup, like a bottle of Heinz ketchup.
Oh no, I was stealing hot sauce.
Right, that's what it was. Stealing some hot sauce.
Yeah, we were at this bar and they just had.
Like I wasn't doing a trick. I was just pickpocketing hot sauce.
I was just hungry.
And then we had hot sauce at home.
We're at this bar. And it was like downstairs, there was wood everywhere. I remember that.
Yeah, and, it was a wooden bar.
Yeah, and there was they just had hot sauce out, so I was taking it, dude. And
that was like when Glenn busted out his cups and balls at the which was like, it was a hardcore, like badass routine, but it was so funny because like everybody's got cards, and then he's just like busts out like a whole like chop cup, like drink shaker thing. I was like, you just have that in your pocket, bro? Like,
yeah,
what's going on?
And I just kind of walked away, and I was like, there's more hot sauce over here.
but Chris, meanwhile, you've got ropes and duct tape in your pocket. So
not then.
Like,
I was
let's just lay it down.
I was not doing stand-up magic at that point. I was barely doing close-up magic.
I'll be back here, guys.
I'm just chilling over here.
Yeah, the minute Glenn pulled out the cups and balls, like, well, okay, let's just.
Okay.
But then he starts doing the routine, and you're like, yo, there's like some badass technique going on here. He's got this vanish with like a cherry that looks so good. And like
Glenn walked around all summer with a suit jacket filled with magic things.
Dude, I feel like that. I don't know Glenn, but I imagine he is the lumpiest person if he's covered in magic in every pocket.
His
nothing to do with
like
his
hanging.
shape, but I just can't imagine that you're not lumpy all over.
Yeah.
Or you just wear the most oversized thing possible to conceal all the magic. Like
he did, and he was still lumpy. So it's just like his pockets are like sagging with like weights, because there's just so much magic packed into them.
Glenn is the lumpiest person.
And the loveliest person.
The very nice lumpy, guy. I mean, lumpiness is loveliest.
I found out the hard way. Glenn has an extremely long tongue.
With his like Gene Simmons.
How did you find this out?
At Buffalo 52, he licked me while we all took a group picture together.
This is pre-COVID.
Yeah,
way before COVID. Yeah, we went to go take a picture, and I was like, "What is happening to my face right now?" Glenn's licking me,
and he's standing like 6 feet away. He's standing.
Yeah.
That's still one of the most fun conventions. Like, it's such a small convention.
Buffalo 52 is the best.
A crazy.
What is it called?
Buffalo 52
Gathering.
Buffalo 52.
Yeah, it's in
Never heard of it.
Buffalo, obviously.
I've
Uh,
never heard of it, Blaze, because it's invitation only.
But like
holy
like anybody who anybody's invited. You just have to like be like, "Can I go?" And they're like, "Yes, invitation. Here you go." So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, pretty much.
it's not like one of those. I know there's that.
Is
what
it only
Fechters,
for
FFF?
52 people?
No, there's definitely more than 52 there. But like, it's
I
one of
would
the
say
most
maybe
like.
less than 52.
It's in like a veterans hall where they got like
DFW.
$1 beers. So like,
Yeah,
it's
check
just
this out.
like
I go
getting
the
drunk.
the first time I go to the convention, I was like, "Oh, how much is a shot?" They're like $3. I go, "Oh, how much is a double?" $3. Like, oh, how much is the rest of the bottle? Like,
$3.
$9. Everything.
Double.
Yeah. It's a weekend of debauchery for sure. Magic
Oh,
and
yeah.
debauchery, and it's good times. It's good times.
That
And
was-
chicken wings. Lots of chicken wings.
That was the convention where I was eating vegan for like a long time, and then went back to.
Oh, you probably died.
You went back to meat eating?
Couldn't eat anything there because the convention. It's like all meat.
It's
The only convention that I've been to where you get your meals included, like lunch and
Yeah,
dinner
you do get meals included. I
Um,
remember it made me like ribs. I didn't like
Yeah.
ribs before. They
Oh,
were like
yeah.
too
It's the
messy.
only convention where you get hammered for $12.
Yeah.
yeah, you go there with $20, and
You're
like
sick.
somebody buys drinks for everybody, and you're like, "Oh, like Ricky Smith tells the
Yeah,
best story
Ricky.
like this." He's like, "I went there and I only had $20, and everybody was buying drinks, and then they're like, okay, Ricky, it's your turn." And I went to the bar, and I was like, "Well, this is it, my weekend shot, like the first night, and it's gonna be all over." And I bought like 3 drinks and 4 beers and a couple of shots, and I was like, "All right, well, how much is it?" And they were like, $6.50. And he's like, "Oh, what? Well, I'll take 3 more rounds."
Totally. Best
I
Ricky
love
Smith
when you do
impression
it. I
on the
love when
planet.
you
by
do
the way.
his voice. It's so good.
I love the Ricky impression. We gotta get Ricky on sometime.
Spot on. It's
Yeah.
like almost better than like doing.
I'm
it
more
than
Ricky than Ricky.
You're more Ricky than Ricky. you're the Rickest Rick.
Oh, the ricketiest Rick.
when I was in New York City and I went to a library and he was still working there, I was like, "Well, how's he just got married?" I was like, "How's married life going and stuff?" He's like, "Her pants are really tight on me and stuff." Like,
I like moved this
it's
back.
like, she
I
did
like
know
what he
where's the
calls.
beard.
I like what he calls his daughter. He calls her the bundle.
The bundle.
Yeah. I was like, how's everything going, man? He goes, "I'm just hanging out with the bundle."
Oh, he's
So
so
good.
awesome.
Yeah, Ricky's the best.
Oh my God.
I miss
Firepower.
him.
Yeah.
Firepower.
So you guys met online or potentially in person, and so you guys had the Buffalo convention.
I'm
as
gonna
well,
go.
and
I'm
this
gonna
led
go with
to-
Mayhew on this one. I'm gonna.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Mayhew.
Magic sessions for starting, which was like a kind of video chat thing.
Yeah.
And then we eventually met up in New York in person, and it's like instant connection. He's just a lovely person. I think like ended up getting like drunk one night and
Many nights.
many nights. But I remember specifically thinking that like a baby chair that was on the side of a road.
Oh,
Was
dude,
like
that
yours.
was years after we met, and
Was
we
that
go.
years after?
Okay, we gotta tell this story.
Bro, I think we were hanging out for. I think it was.
2019.
I think it was mine. I think it was mine and Tony's birthday celebration,
Oh yeah.
and we went to this bar.
where we got bottle service.
We got bottle
Smashed.
service, and I was driving everyone home. So we walk over to my car, and it was garbage day. So in New York, garbage is just on the sidewalk chilling.
It's gross.
You're gross, but whatever. And I don't need this crap in my life. Don't judge my hometown.
No, do you remember
Yeah.
you remember when we went for Chinese food in New York and it was garbage day?
It's just
Oh, we'll get to
smells
that. We'll get to that.
horrific.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
The rivers of garbage juice. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
So we go to get in my car, and Mayhew opens. I had a hatchback at the time. Mayhew opens my hatch, and he's like shoving this baby seat into my car. And I'm like, Chris, what are you doing? And I don't really remember what he said, but he was like, this is yours, and I don't want you to leave it. Something like that. And I'm like,
I completely was convinced that it was his somehow. I don't know how.
yeah.
In my mind, I was
I'm like, Chris,
he does.
Chris, just get in the car, man. I got it. Like, I'll take care of it. And he goes inside the car, and I'm like looking at this car seat, like, where did this come from?
Garbage day.
It's
Chris
always
just
garbage day.
found a car seat.
Just
And
found the
he's
car
like,
seat.
he's like, I wanted this for your bundle.
Yeah.
You never know when you need a chair for the bundle.
Yeah, I remember very specifically being like, "Oh no, he can't leave this. Like, I gotta remember. He has to remember." And I like remember just wanting to put it in his trunk to help him for some reason, and he's just like, "What are you doing?" It was like genuine. It was like a genuine concern. I was like, "Yeah, you don't want to forget this thing."
We were both
plates and kid seats.
The thing is, we were both genuine because Chris was genuinely trying to help me, and I was genuinely surprised that he had a kid's seat.
You guys are both just 100% honest at that moment.
And genuine. It was nothing but love.
I'm just so excited to help you.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like, you can't forget this though, man. Think of how expensive this kid seat is.
Totally. That was my mentality for sure.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
I still think the favorite drug experience I had was when we went to a diner and we're ordering food, and Chris is drunk. It's hard for me to get drunk, but Chris is drunk. And Chris goes, I will have one plain waffle.
Or is that is a pancake, right?
Oh, pancake? All right, one plain pancake, no syrup, no nothing. And my fat ass orders like double cheeseburgers. Right? And Chris is like spreading butter on his pancake, but he's looking at my burgers. Right? And he decided not to eat the pancake. And I just go, Chris, do you want a burger? And he went, I can have one. Yeah, bro. And I handed him a burger. He's like, oh man. And he ate the shit out of the burger. I was like, what the fuck?
Your drunk mind just decides you're on a diet starting right now.
Like, never in my life have I heard anyone ask for one plain pancake.
Like, you want a stack? You want a half stack?
No, just one with nothing. Don't even bring a plate. Just put it on a napkin.
I think the mentality there was I believe that the pancake would act like a sponge and absorb the alcohol or something like that. I don't know. And then I lost the appetite for the pancake.
It wasn't out of sustenance. It was out of necessity. Yeah.
We had good times.
You were looking for a kitchen utility. Yeah.
It's always a good time when Mayhew's in town, and like, it's always a good time.
Yeah, one thing that dawned on me was like anytime I would go there with friends, all the different magic folk would come out and like hang out. And so in my mind, I just assumed everybody was friends and they all hung out all the time. And then it like dawned on me that like, or I think even Xavier's like, yeah, none of these people ever hang out, like most of the time in New York, they're all separate doing their own thing. But it's like, I guess Toronto crew brings people together in a way. And so I love it. I just love the Magic community and just love hanging out with all my Magic friends, and the fact that they're all willing to get along, when I'm there and hang out and jam Magic is just lovely. But it was one of these kind of things where I was naive about it. I was like, yeah, they all just hang out all the time and they're all just friends. It's like,
no, there's like three of us that see each other all the time, and then everybody else just shows up when people are in town.
Right.
It is interesting that way because I've seen the same thing. It's like everybody gets together one night and they're all like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm like, don't you guys all live in like the same city?
Yeah, he lives there and I live there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him since the last time he came.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a reason to come out. I know, like all my friends in Calgary, for instance, all my friends from my childhood, they don't really see or hang out with each other that much. But like my friendships with them have grown stronger, and it's because I'm away, and so I think there's that distance where you don't take each other's relationship for granted necessarily, because you only get to see each other in like windows of each other's lives, and
Seldom
so you
visits
appreciate.
make longtime friends. Old saying.
Me and X like each other way more when we're separated, because when we get in the car together, then we just want to drop kick each other.
No, you want to drop kick one person.
Just one person.
No, but that's an old saying, man. Seldom visits make longtime friends.
Yo, Scott Bearson. Scott Bearson in the chat. Yo, Scott.
That is a good
Calgary.
saying. Yeah.
Calgary Magic friend.
No, it's always fun visiting New York City. There's some
New York is the most fun, I would say, and there's just such great, awesome talent there, and great magic. So I jump at the chance to go to New York anytime I can.
What's the magic community like over there? Oh, what were we gonna say, X?
There's also fried Oreos 24 hours a day.
Fried Oreos.
What?
Correct.
Fried Oreos are the greatest.
Fried Oreos are spectacular.
I had my mind blown by them because in my head I thought they'd be like crunchy. Like it's like just a crunchy battered Oreo, and then you like bite into one, it's soft, and you're just like, what is this?
Oh,
there was when
when
Franco Pasquale came to town with us.
Yeah,
it was me, Ryan, and Franco,
till like 5 or 6 a.m.
Yeah, and I was like, you guys want to get fried Oreos? Like, what? And I just Googled the place, and we went there, and they were like, they have fried chicken, hot dogs, burgers, pizza.
Where's this?
In Manhattan somewhere, and then they had fried Oreos, and I was like, let's just get fried Oreos.
It was like a convenience store almost that we walked into. It
was like a terrible ice cream shop that went wrong.
It was like the most hole in the wall place.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we went in. I still remember. Do you remember? I was hiding outside because Franco got a large soft serve ice cream cone. He was walking out with it like this, and I tried to hide and just smack it into his face. It's like,
oh my god,
I'm getting so.
It's just
bad
like melting off the sides.
Like, please video this because this is gonna happen.
Oh man, actually, I think I have a vlog of that day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was a vlog. It got taken down.
It did?
Remember, Franco didn't want it up after.
Was it because you were talking about drop kicking Tom?
Yeah, because that, and there was some other comments. He made comments about some magician that he didn't like.
Just some sensitive comments that they don't want out there. Understandable.
They were sensitive. Franco was just being a
X. I was like, I
love Franco. Franco's the best.
I watched the vlog. I was laughing my head off the whole time. It was hilarious. Like, it was a joking manner.
Yeah,
and Franco didn't say anything really bad on it. And then so I went to show a friend, and I'm like, X, where the heck did the vlog go? And he's like, I had to take it down.
Yeah, Franco hit me up, and he's like,
Franco called me like freaking out that I put it up and stuff.
Yeah, like if there's stuff that you're sensitive to, it's understandable.
Well, the thing is, he was fine with it at first because I showed it to him. And then like 3 days later, he's like,
He did it right when I'm drinking. It's like bad.
He's like, dude, hey man, kind of don't feel comfortable with what I'm saying.
Well, that's really nice of you to actually take it down.
Of course, but
yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, New York adventures are just craziness.
The legend of the 24-hour fried Oreos will never be seen again.
Oh man, I think every time you go to New York, you have at least 1 or 2 days that are like 5 or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I did actually, it was with Franco as well on that same trip. I think we went out with B. Smith for burgers at like a $75 hamburger. It was insane.
Must be a good hamburger.
5 in the morning. We had no idea the cost of everything. It was like the only place open in the area. It's like this.
Where did you go? Blue Ribbon?
I have no idea. I have no idea what it was called. It was a couple of years ago. And so we sit down. We're like, oh, we'll just get burgers and like a pop or a soda. And so
you said soda the most Canadian.
Soda.
They just held on to the O for dear life.
Got it. I only do that just to make fun of the soda.
But
we get our bills, and it's like, what? And I remember B got he got a burger on like a piece of lettuce or something instead of a bun because he was going all keto.
Lettuce wrap.
And he is like, it was like $6 more for that. He's like, I could buy a whole freaking.
They're like, I removed ingredients. I'm not paying more.
There was already
is
lettuce on the
it's
burger. You just
Shitty that
didn't
like
do anything else.
healthy costs more.
That's why I never understood why piercings cost money. Like you're making space. You're not adding.
Yeah.
And you are filling the space with a thing. I think I'm buying the thing.
No, but they charge you for the thing and making the space for it.
Yeah. I think it's because they've got to deal with all the people freaking out.
Like they shouldn't even call it a piercing. Like just spread my flesh right here. Just spread that flesh open right there.
Can you stab me? Yeah. All right.
I think this thing's like falling off. I think my mic is like falling off of the chair.
How much for
piercing? We'll pierce it for you.
Is this thing getting like lower?
I don't know. How much to get shanked in the
yeah,
ear?
it's totally falling off. All right, I gotta
shanked.
do some work here. You guys keep talking. My mic is definitely like falling.
Girls get belly button shanks. Yeah, just right here. Convict comes out. I got this.
I've got one of those.
Oh yeah, I know you do.
No, that would be.
Ryan.
No, you know what Ryan has? He has a jewel in his belly button.
I do, yeah.
just bedazzled.
I just stuck it in.
He's a treasure troll.
Come out.
That's the way to go. Belly
So
jewel all the way.
should we do our first segment, Blaze? Well, we have both these guys on.
Yes, sir.
Because
Let's do it.
Fun to get the answers off both these guys. And I can see that Xavier already is cringing. He's going, oh no. He's like, I didn't think I would be caught with this.
But you know, it's time for 20 questions. Things we don't know about you.
Oh, I've never seen this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Let's get into it. So we have our rapid fire questions, and let me pull up this. So you guys will have a combined amount of time to answer together. All right, because you're both lost.
We answer at the same time.
You answer one after the other, back to back.
Okay.
Right? And we will see how many questions that you can get through. We'll see if you set the record. Last week we had two guests as well, and they both gave an answer each, and we gave them 4 minutes, right, Ryan?
4 minutes, yeah.
4 minutes. All right, 4 minutes, 20 questions. We'll see how many questions you can get through. We've never had a guest get through all 20 questions.
420 Blaze it. Got it.
420 Blaze in.
Snap.
I knew that was coming. I knew it.
Oh no, what have I done?
No.
What have I done?
I might fall off the chair again just for fun.
Should have set that as its own scene during unconventional. That didn't happen, okay?
That was the single greatest blooper of Magic After Dark.
Okay. So
that just surpassed
what did I say about 4 minutes?
Can you do it again?
Hold on. We can't start the timer yet. We gotta compose ourselves here.
You want it to happen again? Should we show the full GIF?
No.
We should not show the full GIF.
I can fly very high. Take a look.
Reading rainbow.
Reading
Rainbow. I can do anything. Friends to know and places to go. A reading rainbow. All right.
I need OBS just so I can zoom in and out with.
All right, so we're gonna do this. We're not gonna do that again. I've fixed the scene. That. All right. You have 4 minutes. Rapid fire questions. All right. We will ask Chris first, and then X. We'll see how many questions you get.
Pressure.
Ready? And 3, 2, 1. Ryan, you go first.
Yep. Favorite color?
Pink.
X.
X.
Wait, hold on. Let's start over.
Oh,
Let's start over.
start over.
I thought you were asking him all 20 questions. And then me asking.
No. It's a combined 4 minutes.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
I understand what's happening now.
Although we could do 2 minutes and then 2 minutes.
I didn't mean to fuck
further.
I didn't mean to fuck.
Just do the beep after. This is the best.
I love that.
I'm gonna get you to set up my OBS. Mine is set up okay.
I
not as
love
crazy.
what OBS can do, and I can't do any of it.
Yeah, I really did. My bad. I didn't mean to fuck it up.
You're censoring the word up.
No, it does it automatically. It knows. Like it knows when I'm cursing. You know, like I didn't mean to fuck it.
I cannot wait for my mom to watch this episode tomorrow.
Same.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I can zoom in.
What a great zoom. All right. So we're gonna do a combined time, right? Do you think, or just separate? I think because we had 2 guests last week and we did combined, we should do combined whenever there's 2. All right. So, all right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Blue.
X. Biggest pet peeve.
When I break the eggs and the yolk breaks.
When people get in the car and don't start the car fast enough.
Where did you grow up?
Calgary.
Means.
What always makes you laugh?
Xavier.
When things get fucked.
Secret talent?
I'm a martial arts.
Singing.
What's the first time you ever saw a magic trick?
When I was a child, and my friend showed it to me.
Copperfield on TV.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Flying.
Teleportation.
What is a dream performance venue?
Ooh. Chicago Magic Lounge is really amazing.
I don't have one.
Online.
Most cherished memory?
That's a good one. I'd say anytime hanging out in New York. Those are always lovely times.
Yeah, cool. I'll steal that one. Next.
All right. Favorite food?
Burgers.
All of it.
Favorite movie?
Magnolia.
Shawshank Redemptions.
Ooh.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Meatballs.
And pineapple.
Favorite magician?
Rune Clan. I love Rune Clan.
Yeah, Rune Clan's good. Rune Clan, Darren Brown. I have a bunch. So, yeah.
If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you'd buy?
Stuff for my fam and my friends.
Oh, man. A new house, probably.
What's your most highly recommended magic product or book?
Ooh, Designing Miracles is really good.
Tarbell.
What's your favorite TV show?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I don't
That's
watch
a good one. That's my favorite. All right.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I don't know, like any junk food. I love any junk food. Is all
I like to say fuck.
If you had one wish, what would you wish for?
Eternal. I don't know. World peace.
Teleportation.
World peace and flying.
Favorite toy growing up?
Oh, definitely Spider-Man toys.
G.I. Joe.
And favorite sports team?
The Leafs? No, I don't. The Raptors.
Would you rather look like a potato or feel like a potato?
Both.
I am a potato.
Congratulations, you are the only people to make it through all 20 questions.
You made it through all 20 questions, which is unbelievable. You had time to spare.
Wow.
That's
a
the
new
first
high
time
score.
ever. Like when
Damn, look at that.
when we were on
Xavier and
15,
Chris.
and there was like
Mega
a
team.
minute and 40 left, I was like, these guys are gonna crush.
Yeah. Yeah, they absolutely crushed that one. Could not answer the favorite sports team one, but none of our guests.
I said
could.
Leafs was like, I don't
want to know
watch
something? I was gonna
Yeah.
say, does esports count?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the New
esports
York
team.
Excelsior. That's they play
Ooh,
Overwatch.
There you go.
Sick. Now, I want to posit that I think that one of the things that contributed to your fast time was the fact that 4 of the times you answered, I like to say fuck. As one of the answers.
No, that was only once. We'll
reel it back. We'll roll it
other
back.
times that I like to fuck it up.
The fly.
You also said, yeah, what he said, or yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Teleportation.
Literally,
Because they're good answers.
No, it was a good
got-
answer.
You
Yeah,
got
no, it was a good
linked
answer.
minds. Mind linking.
Great minds think alike. Yes.
Linking
that
minds
was great.
think a link.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, we're not going to do the IQ test for either of you because you've both seen it. You already know the answers, unless we just want to get
I
new
haven't seen
creative
this,
answers.
Oh, the giraffe thing. And
Yeah.
the To be honest, my favorite answer was Aussies. It was like very
Oh, he had the
logical.
best.
X, you haven't seen
I'm
it?
gonna be honest. I don't know what this IQ test is.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should
Oh.
go for Xavier then.
All right.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Over
Xavier,
here.
it's time.
It is time.
My answer would be
for-
everything.
Should we just
Aussie
roll
said.
straight into the next segment? We can roll straight into
Do
it.
it.
We
do
could.
it.
Do you want?
do it.
What do you guys
I
feel
wanna
like?
hear it, Xavier.
Chris
You guys want
start?
to chill and talk for a little bit, and
I don't care,
let's,
whatever you want.
I mean, I'm keeping my eye on the clock right now because in
Oh, yeah,
a
it's
moment
11:05.
I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
break
yeah. So
away
this
and
is a-
record
this
this
is a perfect-
clubhouse show.
This is a perfect time for us to do this this thing with X. So if you need to break away because it is 11. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So
we still
we'll talk
got
a little
time.
bit then. All right. So in the meantime, I would like to take a little trip down memory lane because we had a question earlier that we would like to go over.
Want to see a card trick? So I'm going to show you something using the 2 jacks. We're going to place them into the center of the pack for right now. Nothing in between yet. What I'm going to do is just as I go through the cards like this, I would like you to just touch a card, all right? Anyone you would like. Which one? This one? Now let's take a look. 4 diamonds. Got it? Here's what's really cool though, Ryan. If I just squish the deck like so and squeeze it, yeah, you should be able to get that card to go from where you picked it all the way down to in between the jacks. Huh? Huh? Right? Yeah? No? You know how long that took me to figure out? You know what? Screw it. I don't even care anymore.
All right.
I love
That's when you just go over and just turn the TV on.
it. That was literally like the one idea I had. Is like, you know what? I just want to interrupt.
Ryan, brilliant
someone's
acting. Were you
game.
just recreating the stare like that?
Totally.
So well done.
I like the YYZ pillow also.
Yeah,
Totally.
that was definitely at Pete McKinnon's place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, when Pete was with Illusionist.
I was
Take care, Ben.
Times.
I was in every trailer that Mayhew brought something out or did anything with.
Yeah, there's one where you mugged me.
Yeah, when you did safety.
Yeah.
Oh, Blaze, if you could find that while we're, because that is a good
Yes,
one.
sir. All right, I'm gonna find it. But
I don't know
the reason that I brought that up is because we did have a question earlier,
Oh, sweet.
and it said, "I got a question about creating and releasing. Is there a resource for finding out if a card effect/method has been published before? I don't want to step on any toes." But they were asking because they knew that was early on because they know that you're a Magic creator, Chris, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about your creative process for both your tutorials, the things that you've put out, but also your trailers. So
Yeah.
Totally.
I also saw Cedric Lancey said that was his first download. Cedric is a huge follower of Magic After Dark.
yes.
So
Oh, wicked.
So that's
Yeah,
cool.
that I love that control. It's one of my favorites, and the conception of that was literally out of necessity. Where I remember I was working on a routine, and I was like, I need a card selected and like fed in between two cards instantly, and then that was the inception of the anti-control. So sometimes ideas can hit you just so suddenly like that out of necessity. A lot of the times, though, it usually comes from having a trick that you enjoy already, and then there's certain things about it that you feel could be improved, and then you kind of workshop it and figure out how to improve the flaws of the trick. But getting
what
back
was the
to,
name of the trick that you recommended that I pull up, Ryan?
It was safety.
safety.
Yeah.
But I think that was that a bonus section?
I
The
don't know
mugging
if that's
part?
what I'm thinking. I don't know if it was a bonus section or not.
Right. There's basically, well, if you can find it, I won't have to say what it is, but
Let me see if I could find it on YouTube as well.
But yeah, the original question of how do you know if a trick, if something that you're trying to create has been created already, you don't want to step on anybody's toes. One of the best things to have is just a small group of knowledgeable magic friends that just know their shit. And if you can find a few magicians like that, then they're just that first kind of step in. If you feel like you have an original idea, you can show it to them and they will tell you if they've seen it or not. I'm very fortunate to have Tyler Wilson as a friend that I've basically grew up with in Calgary, and Tyler is like an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to magic. And so anything I've ever created, I've always kind of ran it past Tyler, and he's that first person where if he's looks at it and goes, oh, wow, I've never seen that before, then that's a good indication that I'm onto something. Or else a lot of the times they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's this whole thing, from here. And so just having like a small group of magic friends that are knowledgeable is a really great way to do it. And if you don't have that, another thing is Lost Art Magic. I look at all of the submissions of tricks. And so you can submit a trick to us and I will, be able to tell you if it's something that is out there, and if I don't, then I can always send it to a friend. But yeah, there's magic companies now where you can submit stuff. However, a lot of the companies, they're very discouraging. Either they don't even get back to you, or they do and they're just like, no, not interested. But because I'm the one that looks at all the submissions, I try to be as encouraging as possible. And so, feel free to send something our way, and I will be able to kind of shed some magic knowledge on it. If you don't have, someone that's accessible to you that has a magic knowledge. But that's my kind of answer is, try to have a small group of friends that are very knowledgeable in their field and then run stuff by them first.
I just take the easy route and just read everything and memorize it. So
what can you do? Just got every book ever.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'll throw out for those of us that don't have every book ever is what I usually do prior to a release is I just I go on the Conjuring Archive and then I just type in keywords that I think are similar to what I'm doing and try and see if there's any references in history to something similar. There's usually a little brief write-up of what that thing is. So if you find something in the archive that is similar to what you're doing, then you can then seek out that specific book, unless you happen to know somebody that has read everything ever, so.
Tyler Wilson,
yeah.
Xavier Spade.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Okay.
Oh my God! Look at my farmer's tan.
You and Ryan both.
I was filming in the
mine's
sun all
bad.
day.
Mine is very, very bad. I can't even show it. This is very dark. This is very white.
Holy cow! Look at this. I'm like Cuban manatee.
You probably got some of that going on.
Manatee.
Manatee.
So I was checking YouTube. I couldn't find the I found safety, but it doesn't have our fight scene in it.
No. I can just explain it real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, I go to show I approach Ryan on the street, so he's just like some rando on the street, and I go up to him. I think it's even like, here's someone, and I got the cameraman. I'm like, here's someone, come with me. And it's like, hey, you want to see some magic? Let me show you this trick. And Ryan's just like, you got a wallet? I was like, what? No, I'm gonna do the trick. And then like suddenly him and then like 3 other guys just like start kicking me, and steal my wallet. I'm on the ground. They're just like stopping me on the ground, take my wallet, and then just leave. So I don't even like do the trick. I just get mugged.
Just get mugged, and it just ends with you sad.
He's like, excuse me, sir, can I show you a magic trick? I was like, do you got a wallet? Like just so deep voice, hat down so you can barely read it. I'm like,
I like how the trailer is just like him becoming a victim.
Yeah, he's like, I have these safety pins. I was like, you have any cash? He's like, I have these 2 safety pins, and I whack the pins out of his hand, throw them to the ground, and then everybody
Oh my
and I grab his
god!
wallet out of his pocket, take up the cash, and throw the wallet at him and take off.
Oh my god!
He's like,
and the whole thinking there is like, if you were to do street magic, like why, there's a chance you could be mugged. So it's like, let's shed some light on the reality of the situation. Everybody's gonna watch you mug you.
The unknown underground of real street magicians.
Yeah. The other one I did too with Chris was we did it the same day. Was you were doing your interview with Chris, the other Chris in Toronto, Westfall.
Oh, Westfall in the pool.
He was doing it in a pool, and there was this like shower cutout at the pool, so you couldn't see me hiding in there. And Chris is like walking down to do the interview with the other Chris, and I run out and just body check him into the pool.
Fully clothed. I'm pretty sure I was like fully clothed.
Yeah, it was like I just hammered him into the pool. It's like, whoa. So me and Chris go back lots
These
of fighting.
Really fun times.
Years, but
I love it.
But Blaze, if it's possible, can you pull up my favorite video of Chris ever?
Yes, sir.
Which is Chris Mayhew, Uncontrollable Cardistry.
All right, I'm gonna pull this up right now. All right.
I love this.
I don't know if the viewers are ready for this because this is flourishing to a whole nother level that is unexplainable, uncontrollable.
I think I remember this.
This was the best video that I think Chris has ever done. No offense, Chris, to all your earlier or past work.
No, honestly, it's one of my faves too. And I love cardistry, by the way. This just I'm not good at it, so this was my attempt at trying to make a cardistry video.
That's why it was uncontrollable.
You do like one of the most hard flourishes, though, don't you?
I do. Dan and Dave can't even do it. This one, the longitude. Wow.
That's dope.
What?
Yeah, I love it.
And then, so then Chris brought out this after, and it was amazing.
I'm uploading it to this so that we can bring this in.
Sweet.
So, is there any other context that we should have before getting into this video, other than that it is cardistry?
I mean, it was a while ago. One of the things in like just the magic world is my weight has fluctuated constantly throughout the years, and so there's like videos where I'm like really overweight and then like underweight, and so like it's just this weird thing where you just see all the different versions of me throughout the years. So this is like an early on one, I believe, and so it's funny.
We get a smorgasbord of the Mayhew.
It was interesting, Chris, that you mentioned that. When I looked up safety,
I'm very big in safety.
You were a very big guy in safety because you had the Freddy Krueger shirt as well.
Yeah.
Like,
and then all of a sudden, anti-control comes out, and it's like opposite. It's like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
All right, I've got it here. So,
all right,
here we go. Chris
My
Mayhew, cardistry that is uncontrollable. Oh my god.
Bro, to this day. Oh my god, dude.
I told you it's gonna be good.
To this day. Yeah,
The
hey,
best-
You just fall down the stairs.
hey, everyone, I'm Chris Mel.
The best thing is that's how he used to start his show. Every show.
It's inspired.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's so good. That's so
God.
fun.
Oh,
Everybody's
man.
loving it.
The best thing too
Wow.
is when you're first watching it, you're like, wow, this guy's doing this intensely, probably crazy flourish. And then he turns sideways and he's just like, oh.
You just realize the hands are just doing nothing. I love, and then you have one flourish in the middle, and then you just start doing magic tricks instead.
That's some fun
Mateo
stuff.
wants to know how bad that fall hurt.
You know, I put pillows at the bottom of the stairs and then just committed to falling down the stairs. So luckily the martial arts training came in handy. That's
Bro,
good.
I remember seeing that, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna do like a, Save the Children type commercial now. It's like, hi everyone, I'm Chris Mayhew, right? And he's like, hey, I'm Chris, and then just dies, and the trailer ends, and I literally farted the first time. It just went brah, like it came out of me, and it was so satisfying.
That's funny.
Because something is really funny when your bowels give out. Like
That's a full body laugh. That's a belly
man.
laugh.
Oh Jesus, so good. And then I'm watching it right now, and I didn't even care that I remembered it. What I cared about was how funny it will always be.
The funny thing is I didn't even remember about the magic in between. Like you do, I remember this and the fall.
Dude, I love that at the end it's like
he did magic.
creative, innovative magic. So at the very end, it's like
Oh man,
just
Chris.
text pops up right out. Dude, that's so good. That's so funny, man.
Chris, you are one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, man.
I love you guys.
Dude. But I think that's a perfect testament to what we were talking about before of just committing to being yourself and not worrying about what people are going to think. Like the fact that because it clearly the slapstick physical comedy, you do it really well, clearly because it was so funny in that. So the fact that you're saying that it took a little bit of trial and error of getting the act to finally have the audiences react how you wanted. It's great that you stuck with it instead of giving up,
Totally. And yeah, I knew all that stuff would be funny to me. It's just figuring out how to translate it to, an audience and have them appreciate, what I appreciate, not giving up on that journey.
Dude,
there are
that's just
times
the
when I want
funniest thing, ending the trailer with you going, I'm Chris May. Die. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck, dude.
That was so good, dude. That was amazing.
Oh.
That was so funny.
that thing's probably almost
know
like
something?
8 years
I
old.
laughed just as hard when I saw Mayhew's show, and he did his cards across.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the cards across. I love that.
Dude, never in my life did I ever think I would see a card slug. That's all I can. That's
It's
the
just
only
a
way I can
slug that
describe it.
brings the card over.
Bro, the only way I can describe it is a card slug. Like you literally think of a big slug covered in cards.
True. It's true.
Right?
Did you have an actual slug?
100%.
Can I tell them?
Yeah, go for it.
So
for it.
he
It's
does
been so
this-
long since I've done it now. Damn.
So he does this cards across, right? And at some point the lights turn out and it's just like black lights. But what you didn't see is that Chris sneaks out from behind the stage and he's wearing a black cloth with cards stuck on it. and he reaches up into the person's hands and he takes the cards out and then he slugs across the stage to the other person and puts them back because the whole show he's been dropping cards on the floor.
Yeah.
So this is
There's
like
cards everywhere.
camouflage. So the camouflage is him wearing a cloak of cards to steal someone's cards in blacklight. Like, dude, it was, oh my God.
It's a hilarious part.
Oh my gosh, that's so creative. That's so funny.
My favorite part is still every time he pulls out the juice box.
The juice.
He has his doctor's, but he comes to the stage with a big doctor's bag and puts it down, and you're like, okay, what is this? Out comes a juice box.
Just drinks it awkwardly.
Yeah.
Came up with a whole routine with the straw, which is kind of cool, which I started doing where like I try to like drink the straw and then it like turns the other way and I'm like, I can't get to the straw. But what's cool about the juice box is it's that thing that gives you a reason to go to the bag constantly. You know, it's just like a joke, but then I can like do shit in the bag, do all the sneaky stuff. But everybody's just like, oh, he's just got to get his juice box. You know, little do they know that I'm also doing secret things within the bag.
I have a second juice box.
I used to I used to set up a lot of shows for people. And usually it's like, hey, you know, if you need anything, let me take care of it. Just worry about your show. I'll take care of everything. Just tell me what you need. Usually people are like, oh, you know, I might need some lunch or, you know, a prop or something. It's like, can you get like a watermelon and a cinder block? And maybe some cardboard. Like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot that I asked for the one person show. So Xavier was the first person to give me the opportunity to do the one person show I developed in New York. And it was like a 2-day run with like 4 shows each day. And it was a good test to see if I could even do like that many shows in a row. But it was a lovely time, and him and his whole team, you know, just treated me so well. And yeah, I'm forever grateful for that. But like, you know, the show requires a lot of weird stuff. So it's like, you know, I need a giant cardboard box, some wood, some bricks. Like, I don't even know. Just like,
yeah, I just remember cinder block. And I was like, what the fuck?
Cinder block and watermelon. Oh my God.
That's
we packed out the shows too.
Totally.
That was like,
yeah, I would love to be able to start doing them again when things become live. And just to think about it, wow, I haven't done it for like over 2 years, so about 2 years. So
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Craziness.
Yeah,
like because I haven't done any virtual stuff either. Like I'm zero. I barely got this set up together for tonight, so no performing really at all. So. Yeah, it'll be rusty.
I'm all covered in sweat and deer piss.
I booked a live show today for Halloween weekend, and I like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. And I was like thinking about it, and I was like, I haven't been on stage to do like an actual full performance now in over a year. Like I've done a ton of virtual stuff, but it's way different, right? So it's like. I'm excited to do that. I mean, hopefully I'll be back performing live before that, but who knows? Here in Canada, we're on phase 1 of reopening now after lockdown on Friday. That starts. So
is that when it starts? Oh man!
Yeah. So
whereas things over here are like very quickly returning to normal.
Yeah, you're like 100%.
Chris, do you need to set up your thing?
I do. It's time.
So
time
it is
now.
Then it is time.
So there's a Clubhouse show that I really want to listen to that is happening at the same time as this. So I'm gonna just like go record, like push my recorder and put it in a room so I can't hear. So I'll be right back. Y'all's just talk amongst each other's, and I'm also gonna fill up my my drink. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
The perfect time for days.
I guess I'm doing this alone. All right.
Oh yeah, because Chris already knows all the answers.
Yeah, that's true.
Chris messaged me. Is he gone?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff.
So
I thought you would for sure know this one because you usually tune in like later if you come on the episode.
Yeah, but I'm also doing like different things at the same time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Do you know how to put a giraffe into a refrigerator?
Open the door.
That's it.
And no,
No, is that not it? Open the
well, I
door.
mean, it's more than one step.
Oh. Oh. Push it in. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with open the door and push it in. Feet first.
Feet first. Okay. Most people say like head first because of the neck and stuff, but
Yeah, I want to get the hard stuff out of the way.
yeah.
No, that's a pretty good move. Well, yeah, some would not be sure if the head was the harder part or if the feet were the harder part. But what would you do after you push it in?
Close the door.
Oh.
Woo! With a little coaxing, he did get it. The correct answer is open the refrigerator, put the giraffe in, and close the door. This question tests whether you're doing simple things in a complicated way. He just said open the door, and that didn't necessarily lead to the giraffe being in there. So we needed a couple.
Oh, so this is like holistic, like okay.
This is IQ test.
I got you.
This is IQ test. Yeah. Okay. So Ryan, you ready for question 2?
Question number 2. How do you put? Oh, I was like, oh. How do you put an elephant in a refrigerator?
Open the door, move the giraffe over, push the elephant in, and close the door.
Unfortunately, sir, you are incorrect.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Unfortunately, you do have to take out the giraffe.
Yeah.
Oh,
way too big.
You can move it over. You can have them both.
One full fridge already, sir.
That was a fridge. This tests your ability to think through the repercussions of your actions. Haven't you realized you've already filled this fridge, sir?
Well, no, because if I could fit a giraffe and I could fit an elephant, no one's telling me the size of the fridge.
What fridge do you know can fit both, though?
What fridge can fit one?
Who was it that was like, we have a Sam's Club freezer?
That was Aussie. He was like, this is a Sam's Club fridge.
Really logic. He's like, you got to chop it up. You got to kill it, then chop it up.
I like David Penn's answer as well. Was like, do you have video of this? Everything had to relate to a video.
It's like somebody asked me this before. It's like, how many elephants can you fit in a Volkswagen?
How many? 0.
4.
In the.
That's just the answer is 4.
It's just 4. Yeah, it's just 4.
Yeah, I was like, where's the answer coming?
Yeah. How do you know? How do you know if there's 8 elephants at the mall?
How?
There's 2 Volkswagens outside.
Just a question, Grace.
Okay. Lion King is hosting. Okay.
Lion King is hosting an animal conference. All the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend?
I mean, I guess it'd be the elephant, right? Because he's in the fridge.
Well, sir.
Wow.
That is correct.
That someone is smarter this
in the
week.
refrigerator. This tests your memory. All right.
I'm just being stupid and I'm winning.
All right.
I feel like Xavier saw this on every episode so far.
No, I really haven't. I've never seen this before.
I have, so I can't really answer.
And question 4.
What?
We almost didn't answer there.
The
river. There's a river you must cross, but it is inhabited by crocodiles. How do you solve the problem?
Wow. I don't know. What the fuck is that?
The cityscape there.
River.
Sorry,
There's a river you must cross.
I'm trying to scroll just so that you can see.
Yeah, that's what I need to see. There's a river you must cross, but it's inhabited by crocodiles. How do you solve the problem? And they're not at that conference? Yes. I don't know. Invite them to the conference.
So what do you do?
Text them. Say go to the conference. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe bring some animals.
But
from the
how would you cross the river?
I mean, just fucking go across it. Go swim.
Mateo said, "Ask them to move."
Oh yeah, we'll do that. Ask them to move.
Ask the crocodiles to move.
Yeah.
X
I know
is
I got
very
this
good
completely
at this.
wrong. Am I?
No, X is very good at this because you swim across. All the crocodiles are attending the animal conference.
I was right.
we had to just see if you were going to dig yourself down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
It
almost bumped down to half credit when you started talking about texting them. They're already there.
No, I mean, I would have just, if they weren't at the con, I'd invite them.
Yeah, invite them to this.
I didn't realize you spoke crocodile.
I mean, apparently I could fit an elephant in the fridge, so.
My man can do anything.
Yeah, right? Like, there's no limits to these questions.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, I almost gave it away too many times. I kept accidentally scrolling over the thing. I had to sneeze so bad, so I quickly brought my mouse over to try and mute myself. It says that this tests whether you learn quickly from your mistakes. According to a study by Anderson Consulting, around 90% of the professionals they tested got all questions wrong, but many preschoolers got several correct answers.
Sweet.
So, X.
That explains a lot.
You know what that
X.
means.
You're like right on par there.
Yeah, I'm like a preschooler.
Spectacular. That was a great performance. The only person who has surpassed you is actually Colin. Colin Cloud got all four right, I think.
Right.
Oh,
did he?
Almost right away, yeah.
So he's like a third grader.
It's like, are you smarter than a fifth grader, but working backwards?
Yeah. Every question you get right, you get demoted like 8 grades.
The funny thing with his was he knew the answer. Like he would give us the answer right away. He was like, "It is probably open the door, put the giraffe in, and close the door."
And then he would give another answer.
But I would say, and then went into this crazy long-winded answer. But he nailed it every single time.
I don't know. The minute I saw a giraffe and refrigerator, I was like, okay, I see where this is going. So I didn't do bad.
No, you didn't do bad. You did very well.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's my turn.
At
Ask me
least
the
a fourth
question.
grade level. Now it's my turn. Yeah.
I'll get them right. I'll show you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Aussie kept saying how you needed to Tetris the pieces. You needed to cut them up and Tetris the
I
pieces.
love
and then
Aussie's answer because they're so brutal. Like, but he's like
Oh,
so
yeah.
charming the way he is. So it's like it doesn't seem like it's very macabre, but like what he's saying is like super macabre.
Well, he kept being so persistent about how vegan he was, and then he would go into the fight. And he was like, "You need to kill him." He was like, "That's the only way."
You gotta chop it into pieces.
I'm just saying, if you could fit a giraffe in the refrigerator, you can move over the giraffe, put in an elephant, and have room for a dolphin. Like, there's no limit. There's no limit.
There's no limit.
Right? Like I think as long as you acknowledge the giraffe, that's a pass.
That's true.
He did acknowledge that the giraffe was there. I guess.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, you know, when you go into your freezer, right, and you got like the ice tray, and you want to put something else in, you don't need to take the ice tray out. You put the other shit into space, right?
If it's so big, you would have to take it out.
But how do you know? Listen, if the giraffe is too big,
The only thing is the giraffe isn't already a part of the fridge.
No, but if a giraffe can't fit, then the elephant can't fit.
I once broke someone's favorite ice tray.
You know what I mean? Unless it's a baby elephant.
Maybe it's like,
wait, what did you say, Nate?
Someone's favorite.
They're like, I was getting some ice, and they're like talking about how much they loved their ice tray. They're like, yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I was like, that's cool. And then it was hard to get the ice out, and then I snapped it in half accidentally. I was like, sorry,
oh my gosh,
that you liked this thing.
Cedric, thank you for your answer. You can't have a dolphin; it will die.
Dolphins are the best. Don't kill the dolphins.
No dolphins out of
Save
water.
the dolphins.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I felt bad about breaking that ice tray.
That was a very good performance on the IQ test. That was
I did
spectacular.
It was very good. It was very good.
Yeah. Still not sure.
So Blaze, you officially owe me $20.
I swear I've never seen that segment before.
Hey, Blaze, you owe me
Yeah,
$20
every time.
'cause,
I owe you $20.
Yeah, remember we made that bet before. You didn't think X would get any of them right, and I said no. He's way smarter than that. He's gonna get like at least.
Do you
2 or
guys
3.
smell that?
Oh yeah, that bet that we most definitely
it smells
did.
like bullshit. Fucking liar.
Some bullshit.
Did you just mute the word bull, but not the
That is complete shit. Complete bullshit.
I have like the highest laugh tonight, and like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, man, that
man,
was
he's got some burgers,
we made that bet. I underestimated him, I guess.
I always know when Ryan's lying about stuff like that because he goes, "You remember that?" And I go, "Okay, he's
do
lying."
you remember that?
Yeah.
No, come
Remember
on,
that?
X, you remember that, Tim?
I remember the bull. I remember the shit.
I remember one time when Ryan had everybody going gaga over a coin.
That's still coming out.
Oh yeah, right. We won't say anything because then.
Yeah, no, I actually have a book on it. I started writing a book on the whole thing.
I love it.
And so it reveals the secrets of it throughout the book. I still have to finish it, but I should release that this year.
Yeah, his strategy was going, hey, remember when I showed you that coin trick? And then it just started off, remember?
Yes, this is good.
Yes, why? Yes, wow. Such a stellar gentleman.
That's
What's
it.
up? Yes.
Yeah, that blows bubbles, right?
I actually used to use it to smoke when I smoked, so it's gross because I don't smoke anymore, and like, still, I kind of put it near my mouth. It's gross.
So, Chris, what were you gonna say, X?
I forgot. Don't worry about me.
Sorry. Chris, when you're talking about making your show and how the fact that you wanted to incorporate all different other kind of theatrical elements like black light, controlling the lighting, more theater,
Right.
Comedy, slapstick. What is your process like when you're going about creating a show? Are you focusing on the bits themselves individually? Or are you focusing on like a bigger picture and then working backwards to what the bits need to be to fit that bigger picture? Like what kind of what is your process like when you're working on that kind of show?
Yeah, I guess it's so blurry because I haven't done it so long. But the process of like developing the whole thing was there are just certain routines and plots that I wanted to explore, but figure out how to kind of make them more me. So like for instance, Cards Across, that's a classic plot in Magic, but I knew there's a lot of room there to kind of explore as far as all the elements besides the actual Cards Across magic trick part. And a lot of the times it comes from inspiration. So I loved Mac King's invisible cloak thing, and I even reached out to him when I came up with my thing to make sure that I wasn't stepping on him, and he gave me his blessing. He felt that it was the whole slug camouflage thing was different enough. But that came down to realizing, because again, I come from close-up magic, and this is the frame that you fill in close-up magic, very small frame. And so when I was moving to the stage, I started thinking about, well, what routines, will fill that stage, because I was very aware that there's a lot of performers where they're on the stage, but they're really only using, a small amount of space, on that stage for a lot of their routines. And I wanted to figure out how I could fill that entire frame with, jokes and comedy and visual stuff throughout. And so Cards Across is one of those perfect ones where you're utilizing that entire stage, because you have to go across. And for me, I just realized there's a lot of room to play there. And I love, the magician in trouble kind of thing. So I had this whole idea where like, what if they like literally just saw me, like it would almost be like it was a real magic method that I thought would work, which is camouflage myself with a blanket of cards because there's cards scattered all over the floor. And so to me, it seems like it's a method that is, would actually be real, and so I'm like, crawling, a soldier crawling across the stage with my camouflage blanket, and then legitimately just grabbing the cards off of the person's plate, you know, and then transferring them onto someone else's plate. And you see it. You see me grab the cards. You see me put them back. And so it's like, okay, well, great. The cards are going to be across, you know. But then the trick there is that it doesn't work, you know. Like you see me grab these 3 cards and put them on their plate. And it's like, let's count your cards out. And then they still have 10 and they still have like, you know, 7 or whatever. So it's like, you know, you saw me like take the cards. And so it's like magic to me. It's like, well, how did it not work? Like I grabbed the cards and put them on the plate. How could it not work? You know?
That's so fun.
That's, you know, I love that, you know, so just good. The idea of the magic not working for me because I just love to play in that arena. And it really came from just being worried about, you know, messing up tricks. And so it's like, well, why don't I just mess up the tricks for, you know, on purpose and then kind of get the audience to really root for me, you know, because they expect the magician to get it right. They expect the magician to pull off the trick. And so for it to just constantly go wrong for me, you know, they're rooting for me at that point. They're like, come on, he can do it. He can make the magic work. Like, we believe in you. Mm-hmm. So that was the kind of whole thing that I wanted to go for was, you know, to really get their expectations to just, you know, not believe that the trick is going to work and then, you know, hope that it will when, you know, when I start, you know, trying to, I guess, come up with these weird, crazy methods.
I just like that the effect is still happening, just not in the same direction.
Right. Because again, you physically see me like grab the cards, like 3 cards, and put the 3 cards on another person's plate. Like, you know, you see that, and so it is magic. The fact that it didn't work, you know, and I love that. You know, really and then
it's like that instant flashback with like coins across, where you see somebody throw the coin and it lands, and then you have the same thing.
Right, and that's sort of what it was inspired by, you know, that kind of thing.
But you did it in a blanket covered in cards.
You know,
that's the
But I even went as far, you know, and I did this a few times where, like, you know, throughout the show, I'm constantly, like, there's a whole stripping routine where, you know, I'm kind of going against a magician for, what is it, like a game of war. Where did Blaze go? But, you know, I'm going against the magician or a spectator in a game of war, and it's strip war. And so, like, you know, and this is a routine of a friend of mine, Brett Cake Rice. And, you know, I saw him do this, and I was like, I would love to be able to do this routine. And so he gave me permission, and then I kind of made it my own thing. But it's just this great kind of magician trouble where each spectator has like 4 piles of cards, and I have 4 pile of cards, and then you expect me to have the aces, you know. It's like, check it out, I have and then it's like a 3. It's like, what? And the spectator, they have an ace, and so now I gotta, like, you know, take off a piece of clothing, you know, and they keep having the aces and I keep having like crap, you know. And so by the end of the routine, you're like, you're now in a very vulnerable position. And you know, I'm not confident enough to, like, be down to my underwear. You know, I think my buddy Brett would go down. He would close his show with it, so he'd end like in underwear. But this is like in the middle of the act, so I have like a cat T-shirt and like jean cutoffs. You know, I'm a never nude. A never nude.
They were shorter than Daisy Dukes.
Yeah,
that's
but
so funny.
The whole idea is that I have these clothes on the ground, and so I did this a few times where my camouflage blanket didn't just have cards on it, but it would have like pants and the shirt on it, you know, and just like all the things that were already on the ground, you know. And so it's kind of this way to not only tie in everything, but like let the audience know that, like, oh, all these mistakes weren't really mistakes, you know. Like, he meant to drop the cards, he meant to strip and do all these things. And so that kind of camouflage blanket is the sort of nod to let everybody know, like, oh, that was planned all along. But I just love to play in that arena of, is he doing this on purpose? Did he actually mess up? Like, I have no idea, and just really blur those lines, you know. And that's because that's what Andy Kaufman did. And I love Andy Kaufman. He's a huge inspiration for me. And so, you know, ever since seeing his performance as a kid, I've always wanted to figure out how to do that in the magic world. And I think I did a pretty good job of, you know, marrying that love for for Andy Kaufman with magic. And so yeah, that's the kind of show I developed. If you saw it, you'd be like, "Yeah, that seems about right."
I did think that was going to be your favorite movie was Man on the Moon.
I love Man on the Moon. It is great. It's just I'd say Magnolia just holds a deeper part of my heart because I saw that and it was just one of those movies that really affected me where I couldn't stop thinking about it for a long time. And I didn't even really understand it. Honestly, it's a hard movie to grasp, but it just always figured out what the movie is even about. And it's really about children and their relationships with their parents. And the movie Magnolia, it chronicles through a bunch of different stories of individuals, but all those stories, what they have in common is their relationship with their parents. And to see a movie kind of talk about a tough subject like that, it really resonated, especially because it's done in such a way that like you wouldn't even know that was the theme, watching it. But yeah, I definitely love that movie. And Man on the Moon, definitely inspired me too. And it was the first movie that kind of got me into Andy Kaufman. I'd say I kind of was aware of Andy Kaufman, but then I watched Man on the Moon, and then it brought me down that rabbit hole of all Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey did such a lovely job at recreating that character.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Man on the Moon. I've only seen the documentary about the making of it.
Right, which is
like, whoa, this is kinda crazy.
That documentary is amazingness.
You gotta watch it though. It's
but the documentary sheds a lot of light on just what that mayhem was that unfolded on set. And when you watch the movie, you see what they genuinely captured. Like Jim Carrey, he played the part so well. Like he played it again, like just the way that I was saying. Xavier is almost better at sounding like Ricky Smith than Ricky Smith. Like Jim Carrey is almost better at being Andy Kaufman than Andy Kaufman. It's just he embodied that character and just the idea of him so much. And Jim Carrey, he truly believed like he was channeling that spirit of Kaufman, to the point where he had an existential crisis after, doing the movie. So you can see just how deeply he absorbed that role. And so, yeah.
Yeah. That was
it's always crazy to me. Like, I mean, you think about actors and stuff and how they, they prep to get in a role and stuff. But I remember hearing like, who was the last guy that played the Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Not Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger obviously went down that rabbit hole as well.
No, Jared Leto.
Right. Oh, yeah, Jared Leto
was like sending.
Or are you talking about the guy that played it in the Joker movie?
No, it was Jared Leto.
Joaquin Phoenix. Jared Leto, who I have a soft spot for. Yeah, he like really embodied that and like said weird things to people.
Which I mean, I didn't like his Joker maybe as much. But he was like sending people dead animals and stuff like that in the mail, and like really got into like just being this deranged character, and so it's crazy to me. Like you said, Jim Carrey did an incredible.
I always wonder things like that, especially in movies like Rubber. Like that tire, really,
exploding someone's head.
That tire really method acted, man. It put us all into that role.
Yeah, and then to become a tricycle, like.
Oh man, I've only seen the one scene of Rubber where the person's head explodes.
Same. I've only seen that scene. Yeah,
I mean that's all you need to see, really.
Yeah,
totally. A sacrifice, though, the tire.
Oh my god, psychokinetic tire.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to watch Rubber and Sharknado 1 through 4.
Sharknado
1 through 4.
Yeah, there's sequels to Sharknado. My God.
The crazy thing is,
you think there's only one Sharknado? Come on.
No, and like.
They name hurricanes every year. They can have more than one Sharknado.
Sharknado 4, I think it's 4, has Penn and Teller in it. Or Penn.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if you could have a cameo in one of the Sharknadoes.
They make a cameo, so
Why
it's got to
not?
be that big.
Just saying.
Also, Titanic 2. Have you seen Titanic 2? I watched Titanic 2. This time, they avoid the iceberg, but then the iceberg gets thrown into the boat by a hurricane.
Oh.
Oh my God.
This time the iceberg gets its revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like literally, they're like, we're too smart for
This
that.
time
We're
the
gonna
iceberg hits them.
avoid the icebergs, and it's like, no, you're not, and then it gets thrown into the boat.
Chris,
Oh my God.
Chris definitely is watching some Roku TV stuff there. Like,
Titanic
yeah.
too.
Street Roku. Oh my God.
I went on that thing one time, once or twice maybe, and I'm like looking through the movies, and it's like, yeah, koala bear versus python, and I'm like, what is this?
Man, you're like when you've watched all of Netflix, and now
Yeah, that's exactly.
you need
Like,
more
go watch
entertainment.
Roku.
There's a company, it's called like Asylum, and it just comes out with these like cheap knockoff movies, usually around the time that like blockbusters come out. I used to work at a video store, and they literally do it to try to confuse people into thinking that it is the blockbuster. Like when Transformers came out, then suddenly Transmorphers came out.
I have a story about that.
Do you?
Bro, oh my God. I was oh my God. I was a fireman at the time, and I'm at the firehouse, right? And I'm like, yo, I think they have Transformers in Blockbuster. Like, let's go watch it, bro. So we go to Blockbuster, and I run in there and I run out and I pop this shit.
You got caught. You got caught by the Transformers.
I got, bro. And I'm like, this is really terrible. And I look at the box and I'm like, Transmorphers? What?
That's what they try to do, though. They try to.
They got me.
Folk.
They got me with the Transmorphers, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's really bad because like nobody turns into a car. It's like imagine like CGI. What was that movie? Terminator. Shitty CGI Terminator, but the robots are just wrong. Right?
They just slap a DVD of Cars 2 into a
yeah, and then they give a guy a helmet and he's like laying down. He's like, no, the robots are the Transmorphers, and you're like, what the fuck? And then they have like the shitty animation going. Like, where's
Optimus Prime?
Where's Megatron and shit? Like, no, it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's
man. So that shit happens all the time. Every time there's a major blockbuster that comes out, there's a knockoff movie that will be quickly made and released to kind of feed off of the confusion of folk to. Well, I guess when video stores existed, now it's all on Netflix. So it's like, oh, Transmorphers, that might be that Transformers movie I was talking about. You click it and you're like, nope.
Fucking
Next.
So
All right,
Roku.
I'm gonna take it because I have to go empty my car out. To be honest.
All right.
Hey, hang on.
Thank you so much
go.
for jumping on there.
Thanks
If you
for
have-
stopping by, Xavier. Love you.
But
If you
yeah, I
go.
just wanted to see you guys. So
If you have
appreciate
Roku,
it.
hang on. If you have Roku,
No, I don't.
The
I do.
last movie I tried to watch on that was called like Lava Shark or something like that. And they're like, yeah, I kid you not. And they're like, we're digging these holes, and it's literally like you can hear the cameras are so shaky, like they didn't have a tripod or anything.
I have no idea why you think Lava Shark would be something
It was
that I haven't seen. Okay, no, I haven't seen it, but I will. Actually,
Lava Shark. It sounds
instead
intriguing.
of cleaning out my car, I'm gonna go buy a fucking Roku.
Go buy a Roku just for Lava Shark.
It takes Sharknado to a turn for the worst. It's incredible.
Now there's going to be a Lava Sharknado.
Impossible.
You don't even know. The thing is, it's so bad that the CGI in it is so bad that you don't see the shark for like 90 minutes of the movie or something. You just
Maybe you haven't seen Transmorphers.
The less you see, the scarier it is. The way it works.
This is not scary one bit. They like it's like shot in a high school, like in the hallway. They're like scientists and stuff. So it's dreadful, absolutely dreadful.
All right, boys. It was great seeing you all.
Peace.
Bye.
Thanks for jumping on.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
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 I just remember the ones I told Anya. I was like, "You got to come and watch this for a minute." And there's a scene where there's these two girls, and they're like, "We're at this beach on like this island," and they pan to the beach, and it's all stone. She's like, "It's such a beautiful beach. I don't know why no one comes here." And they're like trying to lay and sunbathe, and there's no sun. They're like sitting in the shade, and she's like, "I'm gonna get a tan." And then they get in the water, and the one girl's like afraid to go into the lake because she's afraid of sharks.
The lava
and the
sharks.
Other girl's like, "There's no sharks in the lake. Like it's a lake. It's not salt water," and stuff. And then they start splashing each other, and it's like the guy that was filming the video was like, "Oh yeah, people are gonna like this. Like two girls splashing each other in the water." And so it's like uncomfortably long. You're watching two girls like just splash each other and giggle, and then a shark comes and eats one of them, and you're like, but you never see the shark. It's like,
no, they're trying to recreate Jaws, you know, that famous moment where the shark's supposed to rise and it doesn't.
I have ended up on a rabbit hole. So while you were talking about that, I was trying to find a movie that is called Zombievers that I've seen. It's about zombie beavers.
Yeah,
you have seen that one?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Is that the one where? Okay, anyway, but yeah. So I have seen it. I think it was on Netflix a while ago. Zombievers, but very bad movie. It's like very bad. Yeah,
there is some that are just.
But as I was trying to figure out what Zombievers was called, I started Googling keywords, and I typed in I couldn't remember exactly what happened, so I typed in beaver shooting laser eyes movie. Right, and now I've found a movie that exists, and it is called
Beavers.
It is called Lamageddon.
Oh, Lamageddon.
What is this playing on?
This is on Prime Video. And then as I was scrolling down Prime Video, there's Velocipaster.
I've heard of Velocipaster.
Killer Sofa. Attack of the Killer Donuts. Thanksgiving. Parashell. Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Clown-nado.
Clown-nado.
I've seen Clown-nado.
There's
man.
Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, Moose the Movie, Sharknado.
To be on the set
American
of one
Badass.
of these movies, I would love to just
here's another one. The Jurassic
creation.
games. Like, that's definitely one that's just to make people think. And Zombies. The Jurassic games, like they're just trying to make somebody think that that's Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, no, the Jurassic games I started watching and was so bad. I just like there's like Mayhew said, you got to think like, what are those actors when they get the call? You know, like I remember watching The Big Bang Theory when what's her name gets the job on like that chimpanzee movie or whatever, chimps, whatever, and she's like, this is so terrible. And then Sheldon's like, "Oh, it has actually a big, huge cult following and stuff. Like you're famous, basically." But
oh my god,
like you got to think like those actors that get these jobs, if they're like, "This is my break, I am in."
Right. I mean, I would take it just to be in, you know, Sharknado or one of those things. It'd be hilarious.
There is no way that you show up and your call sheet says day one Lamageddon and you go, "It's my big break." There's no way that you think that's your big break. You go, "Okay, I'm gonna be in a really bad movie. I'm getting paid though."
Yeah.
And then you go, "I'm excited to watch this with my friends and get drunk and eat pizza while we
that's
laugh
gotta
at
be
this
the
movie."
mentality.
But do you put it on your resume for future auditions?
Of course, you're in a movie.
Unless only if you're trying to show up for Velocipaster. Then maybe you.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these movies have like the same cast. Like,
well, the crazy thing, like Sharknado got pretty big. I mean, the main guy on it is the guy from 90210.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the blonde.
What about Birdemic? You seen Birdemic?
I have heard of that one.
No, no.
I saw clips of it. And it's like the birds are just like flapping, completely still in the air, just flapping their wings like this, but like frozen in the one spot.
Oh my god!
Just like The physics of birds is interesting in this one.
Yeah, what a great.
Should we do our next segment?
Of course, sir.
The most popular segment of the entire show.
The most popular segment of the show. Yeah, yes, sir. How did I almost forget the most popular segment of the show?
Lasagna!
Lasagna!
What's your favorite genre of lasagna?
Meat.
Lasagna.
Veggie.
Lasagna.
Plain.
Lasagna.
Saucy.
Lasagna. What's your favorite genre of lasagna?
The first time you guys ever dropped that on the show, I died.
The whole time you were doing it, I was like, what's your favorite genre of lasagna?
Dude, just vibe into that song.
Yeah. I love it. What's your favorite genre of lasagna?
It has become Matt DeSero's favorite song. He's messaged me like every time we've talked this week. He's like, lasagna.
Dude, it's just the best. It just makes me so happy. That song is my jam.
I'm bringing some more songs next week. I got a lighter week next week, so by next Wednesday, we will have 20 question songs and an IQ song.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Add to the musical theme.
We try to up the production level.
You gotta.
Every single week.
You gotta.
For you guys watching,
you gotta lasagna.
Some more tunes.
Lasagna. Scott said that our conversation before sounded like a very interwoven tapestry of a B-movie cinematic universe. Yeah, I mean, they've got it. I mean, yeah, considering it's the related items, people who liked Lamageddon also liked
all those,
Velocipaster and Attack of the Killer Sofa.
Yeah, you definitely watch those for like the novelty of the name. I feel like if you laugh at that name, then you're like, well, I just got to see what this is all about, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I feel like those are movies for people that have watched a lot of movies. So, like, as somebody that has not watched a lot of movies, I have so many that I need to catch up on that are good movies that I'm never going to get to the horrendous ones.
Right.
You know?
You just got to go horrendous now, and then when you see a good movie, you'll be like, that was incredible.
That was amazing. You're just, dude, imagine what would happen if you just raised a kid and their only understanding of what movies was just Sharknado, Lamageddon.
When I have a child one day, that's how it will be. Sharknado, it will be their first movie.
Yeah.
No Bambi or
they see The Room and they're like, this is the pinnacle of cinema.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wonder if they'd be able to tell like if it was bad or like if they would just assume that's what good cinema is.
They literally have to be homeschooled because they would go to school and kids would be like, yo, did you see this new movie? No, what is that? Like,
that's not Velocipaster. Yeah, that's a classic.
Did you see the new Transformers movie? No, I only saw Transmorphers.
I love that Xavier was one of the people that
my dad only lets me watch Transmorphers.
But Chris, we have to ask you, what is your favorite genre of lasagna?
My favorite genre of lasagna. Oh man's. I mean, like, so there's more than just like cheese and tomato lasagna.
Chris, you've watched the show.
Yeah, I know, but to be honest, I've never actually contemplated the question.
You've made it through the IQ test in the episodes, so you had to see lasagna because IQ always comes
here. I guess my favorite genre of lasagna would be just like, I don't know, cheese and tomato lasagna. I don't know. Like, there's...
Now, are those like slices of tomatoes or like chunks of tomatoes?
No, just the regular. You know what? Actually, no, I'll take that back. My mom used to get this like frozen lasagna. It was like a white lasagna, whereas like almost like a Alfredo-y kind of lasagna.
Yeah.
I remember that, and it was pretty good because in my mind, all I'm thinking is like, you know, the red tomato meat lasagna. Now that I think about it, that like white, like Alfredo kind of lasagna was pretty damn good, you know. So I'm gonna go with that, the Alfredo lasagna.
I'm happy that a man of your creative stature did not settle for cheese and tomato lasagna.
In my mind, I was
joke.
like, what else exists besides that? Until like repressed childhood memory of like, remember the Alfredo, Chris. Remember the Alfredo. And I was like, oh, I remember.
I like
I remember.
slightly magic says, just put a whole tomato on top of the lasagna. Work smarter, not harder.
Great. Yeah.
Just slice in, just slap it on. No, I used to not like tomatoes, and then I learned to like tomatoes because they made sandwiches look better. I just remember like a sandwich didn't look as good without that like red stripe. So I was like, you know what? Like aesthetically, tomato looks better for a sandwich. So then I just learned to like tomatoes so that the sandwich was aesthetically pleasing.
All about the aesthetics. That is very true.
See, I didn't like tomatoes until I ate the world's hottest chicken wings, and after that, my taste buds, I think, actually physically changed. I burnt them off. And
it just like activated the tomato.
Yeah, because I would, anytime I got a burger, like if it had a tomato on it, take it off, right?
Right.
And after that, I was eating one time and didn't notice that there was a tomato because it was smaller than the bun. And so I was eating and I ate into it and I was like, oh, I actually like this now. And I hated tomatoes, hated them. I love ketchup. I hated tomatoes.
Ketchup's yummy.
And I love tomato sauce. I love everything that has tomatoes in it.
Right.
Like a slice of tomato, no way, not a chance.
Right.
And now, I don't mind.
Yeah, I was the same way. I wasn't a fan of tomatoes, and then like I just noticed, I'd make a sandwich, and I'd be like, doesn't look as like colorful without like that tomato in it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna suck it up and eat it with the tomato. And I, at first I was like, yeah, it's okay. And then eventually I was just like, I like this. I like this tomato. It makes the sandwich look good.
Oh, that is.
Makes it look better.
It's
all
about
about
the
the
aesthetics.
yeah.
That's what matters. It's
Yeah.
about the aesthetics. What are some ugly foods that don't care about aesthetics, but we still eat them? I feel like
I
sushi,
feel like lasagna
sushi
is
is a
pretty
very
ugly.
beautiful food. Sushi is a very beautiful food,
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sushi,
lasagna is a
aesthetic
pretty,
matters. It's very sloppy,
how-
messy.
Whoa.
I mean, there is some cheeses. There are some cheeses that are pretty ugly looking.
Are you calling this sloppy?
Lasagna!
That's a pretty aesthetically pleasing looking cartoon lasagna.
Who was
It's a
it?
lot
Was it-
cleaner than most lasagnas.
If you call it sloppy, you're calling the whole show sloppy.
Yeah, this has just been a sloppy episode today. Who said that it looked like a deck of cards? Was it David Penn? That was like he thought the lasagna was a deck of cards.
Oh,
Maybe.
I don't know. I know that somebody was talking about lasagnas in terms of deck of cards height.
Aussie, that one.
Aussie.
How
Like
big
you
it
measure
was.
the thickness of a lasagna by like two. I feel like a lasagna is at least 2 decks in thickness, like minimum.
Speaking of which, if you were to bake a lasagna and bake a second lasagna, if you stack the second atop of the first, how many lasagna do you have now?
I was actually contemplating this today because I knew this question was coming. I was like, well,
But
hold
you
on,
didn't
like-
prep a genre?
No, I completely surpassed the genre because I was so focused on like, well, would it be 2 or would it just be 1 mega lasagna? And then I just had it like in my head, like mega lasagna. Like that word, mega lasagna.
That's gonna be the new horror movie coming.
But like
out.
it feels like, yeah, you're gonna see that in the B movies. Mega lasagna.
And
2.
it'll have
Return of the
theme song as
lasagna.
well.
Mega lasagna.
But I feel like both answers are so valid. It's like, yeah, technically there's 2 lasagnas stacked on each other. But if you think of lasagna in like the layering of the meats and the cheeses and stuff, then it does sort of amalgamate into one giant mega lasagna. And so it's like almost like it's both at the same time, like the double slit experiment is
That's
both a
gonna have to
wave
get
and a
added.
particle.
That mega lasagna is going to have to get added into the song.
That's
think.
iconic. That's a really good idea. Mega lasagna.
We've got a few good ansers lately. We like triangular cut.
Yeah, and
Mega lasagna.
and then Aussie said impossible lasagna because
Yeah.
of the vegan meat and stuff.
Yeah,
Impossible lasagna. Yeah, you gotta amalgamate mega lasagna into the song.
this
Mega
song is
lasagna.
going to be like an 8-minute song eventually. We
We need a
play
remix,
it.
yeah.
We should actually
If
probably
you
just
got
put
a
it on
remix, that'd
YouTube
be
as its own
so
video
good.
to see if it gets more hits than anything else. Like,
Yeah, just put a drop in there, and then
Yeah.
at the end of the drop, it goes Megalazon. Boom, bom, bom, bom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just another one just falls from the sky and lands on the first one, and now it's a Megalazon song.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
What's your yeah? What's your favorite megala genre of Megalazon?
The Megalazon. That could also be a dinosaur of some sort, I feel like. And a transformer. It could be it goes into many genres of beings.
Transmorpher, you mean transmorpher?
It could be that too.
Transmorphers, yeah. Many
Transmorpher, transformer, dinosaur, you name it, it is it.
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. Totally.
Other
It's also
things.
served in Titanic 2 in the cafeteria.
I kind of want to look up just like bad movies now.
Oh
Man,
yeah, that's a rabbit hole that is endless.
Dude, I cannot express how tempted I am to watch Llamageddon.
Honestly, I'm into it because I love llamas. They're funny to me. You know, like this. I love doing this. This is like a llama. And my buddy Chris Westfall and I, we used to do this joke where it's like rock, paper, scissors, and then llama. And then he made a T-shirt. This is so good. He made a T-shirt of this, of rock, paper, scissors, llama. He's like, yo, man, check this out. I made 200 of them. I'm like, you spelled llama wrong.
You
spelled it like llama as in like Dalai Lama with like two, or like with one L.
With one L.
Yeah, and so it's just like, he's like, yeah, 200 of these. I'm like, spelled llama wrong.
Oh, no. That's brutal. Oh, man. Who is he going to sell them to?
He still has them.
He still has them. Just
To be honest, they were very comfy shirts. The material he chose was like some primo material. Like I'm pretty sure I have one still. But, it's like a pajama shirt.
Yeah, I know in Big Bang Theory they have rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Right.
Yeah.
That's sort of what the joke was sort of based off of, and then it's like, let's just do llama. But I just love this thing.
Llama's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
We are definitely going to have, I was already talking to someone about making a genre of lasagna t-shirts.
I like that.
Absolutely.
Special for Magic
I'd
After
rock
Dark.
that.
And then you have couples t-shirts, and it's like got the arrow, and it's like, you're my favorite genre of lasagna.
And then you got to have a Megalazon t-shirt where it's just
I'm going to get one that just has a finger pointing that says co-host, but it'll be the wrong way or something.
Co-host? I'll just always stand on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'll go. And I'll go, welcome to Magic After Dark. I'm Ryan Edwards. This is my co-host.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're my favorite genre of lasagna.
I think they're going to sell out.
Yeah, man. How could they not?
We're going to go to Magic Live, and everyone will be wearing genre of lasagna t-shirts.
I mean, that'd be lovely.
That'd be hilarious.
There'll be people that don't get it. They're like, what is this genre of lasagna thing? I gotta know.
For conventions, it's a must-wear. Must-wear.
Yeah. I'd rock one at a convention for sure.
Yeah.
If you make a t-shirt, I will represent.
So, Chris, you were saying that Andy Kaufman is one of your big inspirations. Who are some of your other big inspirations, either in Magic or just entertainment otherwise?
As far as Magic goes, Chad Long and Rune Clan are two that have really influenced me. Some of my routines are directly inspired by Chad Long, and like I took like certain structures of his routines and then just expanded upon them. One routine that I could think of, the stripping routine is literally Chad Long's shuffling lesson, but then you use his shuffling lesson to just place the cards in the wrong order for the magician, and then the right order for the spectator, but it's using his whole entire methodology for that. And so I really love just Chad's thinking in Magic and his construction of routines. And then Rune Clan, I've just always loved his humor in Magic and also his construction in his routines. And so I'd say those two are huge influences for me in the world of magic. And then outside of magic, yeah, you have Andy Kaufman, Chris Farley. I love and adore. You know, I definitely have a big Chris Farley influence just with his physicality and his physical comedy. You know, he was a physical slapstick comedian.
Yeah,
and so I really, you know, look to him for inspiration. And it's really interesting to kind of, you know, knowing, you know, the ending of his story, you know, when you look back on his videos, it's really interesting to see how he hid behind comedy. You know, you would see him on shows and he was so scared, you know, of actually opening up and being vulnerable, you know, that rather than, you know, answering something with vulnerability, he would just, hey, look at me, you know, and I saw it, you could see it now. Because, you know, I always watched him when he was alive and just saw the comedy side. But then, you know, after he passed, you know, and I got older and I started looking back on his career, I started to notice, you know, how much he hid behind his comedy, you know, and so it was very eye-opening. And so for me, it's a lesson in vulnerability and trying to be as, you know, truthful and vulnerable as I can and just be myself as much as I can, and still, you know, enjoy the comedy and the funniness, but, you know, not try to hide behind any of that, you know. And so that's been a big lesson for me, is how not to hide behind this stuff, but how to use it as a vehicle for expression of my own, you know, authentic self. And so, yeah, you know, I look to Chris Farley a lot in many different ways, you know, both for his comedy and then for the lessons that I could learn from just seeing, you know, the way he, you know, did certain things in being scared. And then Jim Carrey, you know, Jim Carrey is huge. I love him. You know, all the facial expression.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those three comedians I think are huge influences on just my comedy, I would say.
Yeah, that's great that you incorporate that into your magic performances and you don't just base it off of, because I feel like there's a lot of people in magic that their biggest inspirations are all magicians, and so then they just try to replicate magicians that they've seen before, and then they don't like put a piece of themselves into it. And maybe that's because they don't have the same level of like understanding, like what you're talking about, of wanting to be vulnerable in front of an audience. You know, they want to just present what they feel like is, you know, a perfect, you know, version of themselves. And I feel like we've all had that kind of feeling at some point of like, you know, I want to put my best foot forward, so I'm going to perform something that I know is like surefire. But I think it's really cool that you had the confidence to go out with an act and like, after not getting the reaction that you wanted, continually do that act until it was where you wanted it to be. And then it's all the better for it. That's awesome.
What's funny is it's almost like a confidence, but it's also a lack of confidence. It's weird, but like, you know, it's so uncomfortable being on stage that like I used to wear like glasses, you know, there's no lenses in them, or they have like clear lenses. No, I think I took the lenses out because of the reflection. But you know, if you look at a lot of my early photos of me being on stage, I had glasses on, and it was literally a mental trick for me where, you know, it's almost like a Superman, you know, Clark Kent kind of thing where, you know, I knew I didn't wear glasses, you know, but, you know, I could go on stage and everybody just thought I wore glasses, and it's kind of like a Halloween mask, you know, where when you're wearing a Halloween mask, you feel so confident. You like, nobody knows who you are, so you can just feel like you can go do anything, you know, go rob a bank. No, but, you know, like I put on those glasses and suddenly I could go up on stage, and you know, it gave me that confidence to kind of do these things. But also I felt awkward, and so I didn't shy away from that. I embraced that awkwardness, and, you know, I brought it into the show and used that awkwardness, you know, to create certain comedy. But then what happened, and this is what was interesting, is, you know, I did the show more and more, and then I started to get more confident, and I started to get more comfortable. And so then I started having to almost act awkward and put on the act of being awkward, And then that's when I became very aware that, like, you know, I had to move beyond that. I had to move past that, and I had to take the glasses off, and I had to embrace this new performer that I was becoming, because it felt forced, you know, like before the awkwardness, it was truthful, you know, because I really did genuinely feel that. And so I embraced it. But once I started to become more comfortable on stage and really grow into that kind of performance, then it felt like I was, you know, putting on an act of awkwardness. And so I had to actually just shed that character, you know, and leave the glasses behind and embrace this new character that had, you know, this more confidence in me. And that was an interesting process, because I had developed all these routines that were based around this awkward character. And I didn't know, like, would the routine still work if I, you know, got rid of that awkward character and was more of my authentic self. And then luckily, you know, my friends Ben and Jonah of the Toronto Magic Company, they had this thing called Newest Trick in the Book, which happened weekly, where it was like a magic open mic type thing. And so that was my opportunity to now test out these routines and, you know, see if I could do these routines that I had honed without that awkward glasses character that I had developed, and just be more of myself. And what I realized is that the routines translated, you know, I was still able to make them work as just me, you know, not this awkward character. And there's still a little bit of awkwardness in there, but it's more of like weird than awkward, you know. That's the only way I can describe it. But that was a journey to just figure out how to first become aware that what I was presenting wasn't truthful anymore, you know, and then how I could bring, you know, this new truthfulness and authenticness that I was growing into, and make that translate both to the audience and in my routines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really great. That's really wise. Huh. And you just realized that you needed to express yourself as your true self, because obviously there are some magicians, like you see somebody like Whit Hayden, like Pop Hayden, where he's being a character, and he's you know, very far from himself, and he's actually modified himself to be more like the character. But for you, it's like you wanted to be expressing yourself on stage, and when you realized that you had changed as a person, you realized you needed to change the act to reflect that, which is really
totally. Yeah. And it really does take, you know, an awareness of yourself, you know, because I could have easily just continued to redo that character over and over again. And to be honest, like, it just started to feel old, you know, like I was just, you know, I also needed something different for myself. And yeah, I had just, you know, that character was just overdone in my mind, and, you know, it just wasn't me anymore. And so, you know, it took like courage to let it go, you know, because like it was something that I had done for many years and honed for many years, and, you know, made it work. And so it's like, oh, after all these years of making this work and it's working, now I got to leave it behind and like start again, you know, but it's not starting again, because I had, you know, all those routines that I had already developed and built over the years. It's just figuring out how to adapt those to the new me, you know, the more confident me. And luckily they still translated and they still worked, you know. And then I came up with the new routines. You know, there's one routine I'm working on right now, and I got to try it out a few times before the pandemic struck. But it's like a whole 1 card routine, you know, and the whole idea, I really wish, you know, I realized that a flap card is the way to go, because I was trying to use just sleight of hand for this. The whole idea, you know, is that, you know, I would kind of tell it was like an opening effect. It's like, yeah, it's been a while since I performed, so I'm going to try to do like the easiest card trick that I could do. All right. Just make it really easy for myself. To be honest, there's a lot of cards. There's too many. That's hard. You know, I'll do half the cards. Okay. We'll do a trick with half the cards. That'll be much easier for me. You know, let's do it with 4. We'll just use 4 cards. Okay. That's probably a much easier. We'll use 1 card. Okay. I'm just going to use 1 card. And now this will be the easiest trick that I could use. So that, go ahead, pick a card. All right. Then someone would pick the card. They're like, okay, I guess just remember the card. Okay. You got the, does everybody remember the card? Perfect. Okay. And I guess we'll mix the card up. Boom, we'll mix the card up. Okay. And now I just need to find the card. Okay. Oh, this is so difficult. Oh, I don't know. Was that your card? And then it's like, it's not their card. And so I still mess up, the easiest card trick in the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Ben even had a great ending for it. It was like, was that your card? No. It's like, oh, dang it. Well, then hold on. And then, I go to my pocket and start looking for all the cards and be like, well, it's got to be one of these. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, now is it? And then it changes back into their card, something like that. But like, just this whole idea of, trying to, I still get a little uncomfortable at the beginning of the show, and so trying to play into that and develop a card trick that is truthful to, I guess, that beginning uncomfortableness of being on stage. But it's like it's like breaking the ice. It's like once you do that first trick, then you kind of get into that performance mode, and then you can start doing all the other things a lot more confidently. But I just love the idea of doing this like one card trick, or a trick with one card,
really
and then still messing it up somehow. It's like, how do you mess up finding the one card? I realize like,
really fun.
using a
That's
flap
really
card is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's a really cool concept. Yeah.
That's
so fun.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see you back on stage doing the act again. Like I said, I've seen it a number of times, but I haven't seen it in a couple of years now. So
totally. And yeah, you've kind of seen the developmental process of it, from not working at all to having it play, and what you saw with Garcia and Blake, was what I was doing at the castle. It was funny is like, because at the Magic Castle, you do, I think, like 4 or 5 performances every night. Yeah. And in my dumb mind, I thought like reset, you have about 20 minutes to reset in between each show. And I thought like, okay, that's easy enough to like pick the cards up and put them in the card box, and like the first night that I performed at the castle, oh God, like when you only had 20 minutes and you still got to like set up rope and like clothes and stuff, because I'm stripping and like doing rope, like by the time I was done resetting, and putting my shoe on, they were like saying, please welcome Chris Mayhew, and so like it was a nightmare where I was just like scrambling to reset after each show. And so that first night was a learning lesson. It's like, okay, let's have preset decks for each show. And thank goodness my friend Stephen Himmel, who is a lovely magician he was in Chicago, I think he's in LA now, but he came through and he had like a bunch of junk decks that he wasn't using, and he like came and brought me all of these decks that I could just like destroy. And so like he saved my butt where I could just have all the decks I needed preset for each performance on the day and not have to worry about some crazy reset. What's fun is like one of the things that I had in mind is by the end of the show, there should be such disaster like all around, that someone walking in at the end would like look at that stage and be like, what the hell happened here? What just happened here? And I got my answer because the magician who was performing in the parlor room, which is the room I wanted to perform in, was Gregory Wilson. And so I just remember one night, it was the last show, and after I'm just kind of like cleaning up the ground and stuff, and I just remember him poke his head into the room. And he's like, hey, he just looks around. He's like, the hell? He's like, okay, I'll let you go. And he just like closed the door. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, was someone to just be like, what just happened?
Yeah, you can't follow Chris's show because like the stage is destroyed.
Yeah, you better make sure I go last. I've been in performances where I haven't, so I have to like come out with like a broom and like awkwardly clean up while the other performers trying to do their thing.
Yeah,
that's so fun. Wow,
crazy.
That's really cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, I think that it's probably time we start getting to this giveaway.
Oh, yes.
People
Lost Art giveaway.
Yes, Lost Art giveaway. And since you are part of the Lost Art team,
Chris, do you have a favorite product on Lost Art?
Right now, our latest release, Quoth, I really love that one. It's from Travis Askew, and he's got some really interesting techniques for coin magic that anybody who's interested in coin magic, you're gonna learn these moves, and honestly, they're just fun to practice, but also to figure out how to adapt them into the coin magic you're already doing. I would say Quoth is one of my favorite projects right now. And it's something that I practice. I'm not going to be able to do it at all, but he's, it's one of those things where, it's a coin appearing on the hand, but then you look at the mechanics behind what he's actually doing, and you're just like, whoa, there's like some really interesting movements, going on here that you didn't think the coin could really do. And it's, based off of a lot of work of, Kainoa Harbottle and Alex Geyser and a few others. But like he definitely, creates some really nice visuals using these techniques. And so, yeah, I'd say Quoth right now is my new favorite project out on Lost Art Magic. And then before that, Luke Oslin's The Road Trip. I really love that because it's not just a one-trick project. It's like a bunch of tricks all packed together and then packaged, on a fun road trip with him and his friends. So nice. Those two right now are my favorites on the site.
Well, you guys heard it from Chris's mouth.
So we'll give those away. We'll give one each away.
So nice. Should we? Let's come up with two questions. We'll ask two questions then. I'm going to ask an easy one. If you guys have been watching, this came up numerous times during the show. But can you name Chris's first inspiration that is not a magician? If you can name that person, you will win a free download from Lost Art Magic. So comment in the comments. And Blaze, do you have a second question?
I'm working on it.
Oh,
we've already got the answer.
And Slightly Magic, winner, chicken dinner.
Slightly Magic. Hit me up on Instagram or Blaze on Instagram, and we will get you set up. Mentalism.ca, they're on the side there. Mentalism.ca, Blaze Sarah. Make sure to hit us up on that.
You shall receive your project from Lost Art Magic.
Yes, this is something I was doing at Unconventional. Let's see if I can do this. I love this. So you have the coin, you take it, and you just make it into a spoon. Change the coin into a spoon, back into a coin, then nice. Back into the spoon.
Nice. Dude, you were making everything turn into spoons.
Yeah.
You were just literally turning everything into spoons. All right. So are you able to, while I think of another question for them, are you able to do the hand thing?
The hand thing? I wish it's over. I don't have the triple.
Okay, then you don't need to do it. If
I can do like a legit coin thing though. That like I honestly love. This is my favorite thing to do. Check this out. So, 2 coins. All right, we'll try this as slow as possible. If you just do this, you get the coin to jump over. All right, I'll show you that again. All right, because that was pretty fast. You just do it again. Coin jumps over. But here, we'll try this. This is my favorite to do. It's a transpo. So just place silver there. All right. Watch the copper. Just a shake. And you get that change into silver and copper. Oh, but we can do it back. If you just watch. All right. That's copper here. Just watch the silver. Ooh, whoa. Yes. Which means that over here should be, kick back.
Nice.
Kick back.
Like that.
Kick back. I love that. That's my favorite.
Legendary. That was dope. And the question is, what is Chris's method for his cards across?
Oh, that's a great question. Comment below.
I love Xavier's explanation for it.
Yeah, Xavier's explanation.
Because I never even thought of it as that, but it's so true.
Anybody in chat, if you know the answer, what is Chris's method for his cards across? If you say it, then you can win a product of your choosing from Lost Art Magic.
We gotta get some more sound effects on here. I'm gonna have to set up my Stream Deck all sound effects.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to get OBS so I can have all the GIFs or GIFs and make the camera zoom in and have all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Have all the fun stuff.
See, I have it and I don't have all the fun stuff set up yet. It's all show stuff. It's like...
Yeah, I have no clue how to work anything.
Oh, we don't have an answer for that one.
Nobody knows. Yes,
Wormhole.
Scott. There you go. The
there it
card
is. There it is.
slug.
Yeah,
Card
Scott
slug,
Baird.
Scott Baird. All right, so
So-
Slightly Magic and Scott Baird, you are this week's giveaway winners.
Cool.
Hit us
Scott,
up
message
on-
me and I'll send you whatever you want on Lost Start.
Yeah,
Just let me
hit
know.
up Chris if you know Chris as well. Message Chris or message myself or Blaze on Instagram, and we will make sure that you get the product of your liking.
Totally.
Well, Chris, I mean, it's amazing having you on. We did
Thank
another
you so much
a
for
lot of
having
laughing
me.
again this week. We've had a couple episodes in a row that have been a lot of laughs.
So much fun. This is
Can't wait to see you when
Totally.
this is over and actually hang out in person.
Yeah, I can't wait.
and to see where your act is going from here.
I'm so excited to see you perform sometime. Like just
Oh,
from this
I can't wait for you to
conversation,
see
I'm
the
like, I can't wait
show
to see
now.
the show.
Honestly, I think you will get a kick out of it. But yeah, I want to thank both of you for doing this show on Lost Art. Honestly, I appreciate it. You know, we all appreciate it, Lost Art. You guys are killing it. So just keep doing what you're doing, and we're here to support. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much.
Totally.
All right.
All right.
So
Awesome.
since we already did the giveaway together, shall we all at
We
once?
we can
You
all
like
do
the
it at
hand
once.
thing all on
Should
the
we
camera?
say that next week? Should we announce the
Oh
the
yes.
double header next week?
Next week is gonna be intense. Next
Yeah.
week we do have a double header. Oh, Cedric, you were just a little bit too late. Just a little bit too late. The card
He
slug
actually
was
gave
right
out
there.
like the full,
Yeah, the full
full
thing. Man, you're exposing his methods, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. So next week, anybody that is that knows anything about the NFT world, then you will love this next week because we have two guests for the price of one. We have Giancarlo Bernini. We'll have a full interview with him, and we will also be bringing on Michael Blau and having a full interview with him. But in the middle, we will be having a group discussion with all four of us talking about NFTs because Giancarlo released he minted the first ever Magic NFT and got a lot of media attention for that. And then Michael Blau has released the most successful Magic NFT since then that has sold, I think, for the highest amount in auction. And they have different types of Magic NFTs. Giancarlo's is a Magic NFT that is actually the secret, and it is a way of exchanging methods for magicians by magicians, whereas Michael's is an NFT that is not being sold specifically for magicians. It is an NFT that does a trick to you. So it'll be an interesting discussion talking about their different approaches to NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and cryptocurrencies and all that. So can't wait for that next week. It's going to be a blast.
Amazingness.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'll tune in for
Well,
that.
Chris, do you want to do our sign off?
Totally. I just want to say peace, everybody. You all are awesome. Let's do it. Sign
See you
off.
next
So we just
week.
put the hands on the lens. All right.